for some hostile therapy.
Yep, top two, and it's not two. You muted. Hey, yo, free Palestine. Fuck the Roman Empire. You already know who the fuck you are, Eisenberg. Every Eisenberg that's watching right now, you know what you did, and you wrong for it. Those were children.
I hope you got somebody that starts your call before you get it into it first thing in the morning.
We're done. We're done. Anybody that was watching, they're gone.
Really?
They're gone, man. They're out of here. I got them out. Now we can have a good show now. I got them out of here. I got the undesirables out of here.
Now my life is good then because I thought, my life was on the line too because of what you have said.
Oh no, you know what I'm saying? Just some of the usual free Palestine, fuck Rome, y'all Einsteins and birds be touching kids.
What's the dude's name on Facebook? What's his last name?
Who?
The guy that owns what's his name? The guy that owns Facebook. What's his name?
Oh, fucking. I know what you. That's Mark Zuck. Well, you know what, Zuckerberg.
Yeah, that's what I was like. It's the
Played
bird
by Jesse Eisenberg. In the movie
look.
Social Media.
So it's Duckburg. You ever watch what is that?
Nah, Zuckerberg.
No. I'm talking about the cartoon now. DuckTales.
Oh, Duckman?
No, DuckTales. You ever watch that? With the rich guy.
I was born in the 90s.
Yeah. But it's called Duckburg.
I watched everything with a duck in it. DuckTales, Darkwing.
Did you ever notice that the end of that is Duckburg? That's where they live at.
Is that so? DuckTales, the rich, mega rich Uncle Duckburg,
Uncle Scrooge
Duckburg, right?
I think, or that's at least that's where he lives at, is in Duckburg. That's in the song.
Duckburg. Okay, Berg like city. I was in Berg like.
Well, he basically owns everything, so it's kind
like an actual Berg would.
Yeah.
An actual Berg, Steen, or Stein would. Shout out to
Berenstein Bears.
Hey, look, they're mad that Goldilocks ran up into their. Goldilocks was definitely a Roman, probably.
Huh.
And the Jews, they don't like it when people run up in their shit, even though.
I don't like when anybody runs up into my house and lays up on my bed. That's like the worst story ever. That and the Rockabye baby story that people sing their kids. It's like a horrible story. The baby pretty much dies at the end because the cradle drops crashing to the ground. Like, why would you sing that to a baby to put them to sleep permanently?
Same thing with the London Bridge. It's a song about when that shit actually fell down, where dozens of people died. But
Ring Around the Rosie. That's the plague.
About the no, that's I want to say that's about the volcanic eruption of Pompeii.
I've always read it was about the Black Plague. Yeah. I always thought it was the Black Plague because I thought they had to burn the bodies after the people caught the plague.
That could be one reason. I always thought it was because of the volcano or the Mount Pompeii that erupted back in Rome and killed a whole bunch of Roman people.
Either way,
and, the volcanic ashes was that was a part of the fallout. So ashes, we all fall down. I was like, I love this song. Let's fuck Rome.
If it is about that too, why in the world would people sing that as a happy song and laugh along with that?
Why do we tell children stories of what fairy tales are really just scary stories? And you think, why do we tell children these scary stories? To keep them obedient. And it's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of fun.
Kind of like Christmas.
Yeah, like that's a fun lie we get to tell the kids. We also have lies that are fun for just us as adults to tell kids.
Oh yeah, we do that like every year at election year.
No, that's the lie we tell ourselves as adults. That's the lie telling yourself that this person that is already pretty well off cares about you.
Right.
The regular guy. All I need to do if you want me to stop the Democrats and or stop the Republicans, I need you, poor ass individual. I need your vote. so that I can go down to DC and I can tell those Democrats and or Republicans to shove it. Why couldn't you have done that before? Why do I need to, like, you said that to people in order to become the mayor. You said that to people in order to become the governor or the senator or the House representatives. So you still say the same shit in order to become the president, because they all say the same shit. Hey, it's the Democrats and or Republicans that are the reason that you are unhappy and broke and crime. So you should vote for us, the Democrats and or Republicans, so that we can make it better for you. We can't make it better for you unless you empower us to do that, even though we've already had power over you.
It sounds like a Southern candidate you just did the voice of.
I don't know how to do Northern politician. My favorite politician is a Southern slickster. Because they're so, like, Southern people, like, we could be very charming. I love a bad antagonist character that has a Southern twang to him, because it's charming, so you don't want to dislike them. Well, now I do declare, like, matter of fact, Leonardo DiCaprio in Django.
That's one. That's one.
Very, very likable, terrible person. And I have to say, it's because of how delightfully Southern he was.
Very much. That's an oxymoron. Very hateable, likable person.
But it works.
It does. No matter how bad he wanted to beat somebody in the head with a hammer, he was still a very respectable person.
So much in the movie, anyway. God, so much charisma captivate that DiCaprio. God, so hot right now, like handsome. So hot right now.
Let's get away from that and let's go into the first subject for today.
Word.
Okay.
I'm bringing one back.
This could go down many avenues. We're going to start off with is the story is of this guy who is married to a woman, and his wife has Alzheimer's. So, of course, she's losing her faculties, losing her mind. She can't, of course, do the same thing she could do as a wife that she did during the previous years. So I think they have an agreement that while they're still married and he's still caring for her, he hasn't, like, thrown her to the wayside, that he could have another girlfriend that can take care of his needs. And I know some people will be like, yeah, you can't do that. You got to be with her until at least she passes or expires. And hell, even some people say, hey, you can't even go find someone else after I die. But in this case, it is agreed upon that he can have.
I always thought it was funny when we say expires.
He can go, yeah, I try to make it nicer, but he tried to expire. But he can go and have sexual relations. He can go on dates, whatever he can with this extra woman, this side piece, whatever you want to call her. And I'm going to play the video to let him give a little bit of explanation of how that relationship works. And then we're going to give our opinion on if we would do that, if we were in that situation. Both ways would we do that?
Bitch, die with me.
That's how some people would be. All right, video. Where you at?
I'm about to say, I don't even think I need shit. At least wait till I'm dead. Damn. Like, I won't be in my face and on social media.
You know, I've been married for 26 years. I've been with B 27 and a half years. Alex and I are now going on a year and a half being together. I believe in the sanctity of marriage, but I don't believe death do you part means that because you made a commitment, if the person is not there, that you should sit there and watch your life shrivel up. And that's why I am where I am today, taking care of B and having someone else in my life.
That's right with it.
Dan always says, you know what, I wish you guys had met years before and we had met years before, but had gotten a chance to get closer, because I could have seen you the best of girlfriends. And I feel that being around her, because when I come here, she's always excited to see me. I'm always excited to see her. As awkward as it may seem on the outside, it doesn't seem awkward on the inside.
She's helping. She's an asset. She's putting in time. She's putting in work. And so I love them together. They make sense.
I never envisioned myself in this type of situation, as a woman.
All right. And there's probably somebody watching the video like, oh, that if he was gonna find something, why would he go to a white woman for? He could have been with someone else at least.
He already
But
married a white woman. Like, what the fuck? Like, like again, you're expecting something different than what's already being shown.
so, what do you think, LT? Now you in this position. I'm putting you as the husband. Your wife has terminal cancer. She's getting ready to die. Oh well, maybe not able to die off, but she got maybe a year or two to live. Slowly, she's wasting away. Would you go out and get another asset, as they kind of put in the video, to suit your needs as a man? Or would you like, well, I'm at least gonna wait until she expires?
I feel like I need a lot of like this is what's why I can't speak for no one else because I don't know what it's like to have a significant other that is battling Alzheimer's. But if they're dying, I'm not really thinking about sex. Like, I'm thinking about the fact, especially he said they've been spending about 26, 27 years together. That's as long as Nelson Mandela was in prison. I guarantee you when that man got home, he still was like, "What are you looking at my plate for? What? I shower alone. I don't care. I don't shower. No, I shower." Like, he still had some ways and tendencies that he had to break because doing anything for 26 or 27 years is going to it's going to be a lasting effect. And if I have to get used to the fact that the person that I've been loving for 26 or 27 years is not only no longer going to be here, but they're going to probably forget me very often, forget our time together. Like, that's a hard thing to think about. Like, one, just having a loved one that is terminally ill is one thing, but having a loved one that's terminally ill in a way that they're not physically ill, like they're not bedridden, you know what I'm saying? They can still physically function, but because it's affecting them in a mental way, that also affects the emotional connection that you're feeling because they don't have memories or they don't have the same memories anymore. You don't have the same. I don't like that. Yes, you do. You've liked it for 15 years. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot that. So it's literally like watching the person that you love fade away while they are still there, knowing that one day it's literally just going to be because yeah, they don't look super old. They don't look elderly like I thought they would be. So yeah, and to be only in your like maybe 40s, 50s, or possibly early 60s, and yeah, watching someone go through the early stages of dementia and Alzheimer's, it could make you want it. I honestly, for me personally, I couldn't think about trying to replace them so soon or so quickly, even after they die. Like, it's not like I'm wrapping up the funeral like, "I wanna thank you all for coming. She would have loved the fact that you all showed up in such beautiful attire." But where the ladies at, man? Let me tell you, women be shopping, women be shopping. Brothers, can I get it? Like, you know what I'm saying? That would be a little weird to not only be thinking about emotional and mental companionship, intimate emotional, mental, and physical companionship, while my companion is still physically in this realm, and I'm on the day to day still having to deal with them not mentally and emotionally being here. That's draining. That's too draining for me to even, you know what I'm saying, want to go out to the club or want to scroll through Tinder and see what I find.
Have you ever dealt with anybody with Alzheimer's?
Um, Not for an extended period of time of which I could actually say means anything to me.
Mhm.
I
Well,
wanna
you
say that my aunt is going through the early stages of dementia. Her memory is
mhm.
slipping from her. You know, she catches herself asking or saying the same thing that she had already told me a few minutes ago, but you never know if that's Alzheimer's, dementia, or just, getting up there in age. You know, my parents do that
Right.
sometimes, but they're very they have their wits about them as well, even though all of them are into their 60s and 70s and shit. So I can't say that, and especially I don't even think I can say the only person I've been around that was like terminally ill, bedridden, couldn't do anything for themselves was my grandmother in the later stages of her life. So, and that was at a point where she was living on her own. I guess maybe the only people that her mom would come by, her son would come by, my dad, her son would come by. But yeah, romantic intimate relationships with people she didn't have and was not worried about. Especially once you just get up into that age and you realize that your time is probably right around the corner. It's less about romantic and yeah, it's less about romantic interaction and just more about intimate interaction with loved ones, family, friends, and shit.
Yeah. Well, and I said, originally I said, what if it was cancer? And cancer, and I'm not trying to defend it, whatever. I'm just trying to lay out how it looks. Cancer, of course, it could be 1 or 2 years or less or whatever. But let's go back to Alzheimer's. When you have that, of course, your memory starts to slip. You forget who people are. You forget how even to use the bathroom. You forget how to eat because everything is just slowly slipping away. And so, and I'm not even thinking about just the intimate details. You have no one that you can talk to on a personal level about problems that you used to. You don't have anyone that will cook for you. You don't have anyone to go on dates with you. And you can have that disease for about 8 to 10 years before you die. So that's over a decade almost. You can have it before you actually pass away. So that kind of adds, I think, to the mix a little bit too, that would it be okay for him? And again, I'm not saying yes, but it would be okay to bring in another woman in the house instead of having to wait until she passes away, because you're not even dating your wife anymore after a while. She's not even going to know who you are. She's not even going to know who her children are. She won't even know who she is after a while.
51st dates.
Yeah, kind of. But you got to have a lot of money. I always watch that. You got to have a lot of money to go on 51st dates at Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. Well, Adam Sandler is one of them
patience too.
One of them boys. But yeah, I mean, I completely get where you're coming from, because with this situation, the person isn't bedridden. So there's not the element of, oh my God, how could you do that while she's on her deathbed? Like when you can literally see or have that literal or metaphorical deathbed, but no, she's up, she's fine, she's walking around. So it's literally just I'm missing the mental and emotional aspects, and probably the physical aspects, because if you are having to remind this person of who you are on a regular basis, they're probably not so hot to fuck you. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot that goes into the lead up of, okay, well, this is me, this is who I am. We've been together for like 27 years. Can I finally get a hand job? Like, please. Like, we've had the same conversation for 3 days in a row. I just want my, like, what I'm saying? I get it. I guess the issue comes in where, because this woman has Alzheimer's, if your partner has Alzheimer, can they actually consent to you bringing another person in? Like, is it even legally binding for you to get them to sign something that says that it's okay? Like, because again, they're clinically or medically and psychologically not truly able to do things for themselves. So you, as their significant other, especially in a legally binding relationship like marriage, it's sickness and in health. So you're legally binded. You're legally and spiritually binded to that person through rich or poor, sickness and in health. So he's not doing anything wrong he's staying in the marriage.
Yeah, he's still taking care of him.
And that we don't think about for him, how that can be a mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually grinding task.
Yes.
Especially, he can get her all the therapy he wants. Then he has to go pay for his own therapy. But yeah, you're right. He still doesn't have anyone that isn't a therapist, anyone that isn't clinically trained to diagnose him every time that he speaks. Because that's kind of the reason why we elect to speak to our friends and family more so than we actually will pay for a therapist, because we don't always want to be diagnosed when we're expressing our problems. We want to be heard, we want to be felt, we want to be understood. And sometimes not always when we're doing something that is morally correct.
Yeah, I don't think I could see 8 to 10 years is a long time. Again, to you basically you are by yourself. I mean, depending on how far along the disease is, I can understand 1 to 2 years. I guess somebody that has cancer, still mentally they're there. Still mentally, you have your wife. Physically, she can't do the duty that she used to do before. Hold on, let me add Sparky to the mix.
Hey.
Right, there we go. Hey, Sparky.
Hey,
Hey,
What's up with you?
we're talking about the story with the guy that had his wife has Alzheimer's,
Okay.
and what we think, if we think that's the right thing to do, to go and find someone to we can say side piece or whatever, to take care of him. Her wifely duties that she can no longer do, or eventually she won't be able to do. Is that the right thing to be able to do in a marriage, especially if she gives consent? Because I mean, she's there. She's still a sound mind that she can give consent. But would you do that? The tables being turned. As a wife, your husband has Alzheimer's. Would you be okay having a husband, not a husband, but a boyfriend, side piece, whatever? He gives you consent to do it. Would you be okay doing that until, well, not until, during, while he's having this disease, this mental disease? Would you be okay with doing that? And then just to give a little extra information, usually people can have this 8 to 10 years before they die. So that's a while to have to live with that.
It is a long time to have to live with it, but I don't think that I would. And I can only say think because I've never been in that particular situation. But I said that I don't think that I would because I've seen it up close and personal. My stepfather has Alzheimer's. And so he, and my mother is his caregiver. Of course, it's his wife, but his caregiver also. And it's a lot. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot on everybody involved, and I can't even see her really being with somebody else because she's still so in tune with taking care of Pops. Right. If there was somebody else there, that would be taken away from his care. And I do understand, from what I remember of the video, because I saw the video, even their daughter was on board.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that, the girlfriend gives the husband, part of the quality of life that he needs. And he might need that quality of life so that he can take care of his wife fully. Maybe having the girlfriend kind of makes him whole. I don't know. But like you said, 8 to 10 years is a long time to, kind of expect somebody to, I don't know, I guess be with somebody that's not totally there or can't, provide all the things that you need because they're not totally there, but they're there still from time to time. It's like they're gone all the time.
Yeah.
It's like they don't remember anything. So lots of times they are there. I don't know.
That looks weird for the daughter, though. I mean, if I were to think about that in that situation, and I saw my, dad dating someone else while mom is there, that's like, can't you?
Now, because it was a white, was that her mom?
Mm-hmm.
Was because
I think the lady with the Alzheimer's was her mom.
Okay, yeah, so that was her mom. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying that she was okay with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I could be okay. I just,
because
that's me as a son. I don't think I could be okay with
look at it through both of their lenses. Like, yeah, it sucks that your mom has Alzheimer's, but this is also your dad, and you're watching him be sad about it, still have to take care of her, and not really have no one to do that for him. You know what I'm saying? Like it. So it's like for the daughter, I get it. Like I get why she's just. I can't say I mean it's. Who the fuck found that video?
That's why I said this a hard one. That's what I said. That's a hard one. But I will say this though. Outside of like Pops having Alzheimer's, so me having a close up with it and really knowing kind of some of the ins and outs of saying like it can be a lot, but they go through a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's it's gotta be a lot to not necessarily know where you're at or understand who the people around you are. Or think that there's somebody else, or to lose your bodily functions, or all the other things that go with it. I can't imagine, not knowing that my house is my house, or not knowing where I was at, or that my spouse was my spouse, and thinking that they
Yeah.
were, maybe another spouse or parents or friends, or just not know who they are,
Yeah, just a stranger. Yeah.
and this, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
interesting to watch sometime how they come in and out of it. So like Pops may make the connection that my mom's like name is her, and make the connection that she is her name, but still doesn't make the connection that she is his wife, if that
Hmm.
makes sense. Like
That makes sense.
he'll talk about his wife in third person, like to my mom, like she's not the
Mhm.
wife. So it's just interesting to watch the way that it, takes place and it happens, and the way it manifests itself. It's definitely um a hard illness for all involved. Um, but I knew somebody else, and theirs wasn't Alzheimer, but I was familiar with somebody that I know. And when their, sickness towards the end, they were okay with their husband having a girlfriend. And
Hmm.
after she passed on, the husband was with that person, for basically until he passed on,
Hmm.
but I guess for her, it was if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure I do, but I like to, but if that it was a blessing, like giving him her blessing almost to be with that other person, so that he wasn't lonely and he wasn't missing the things that she couldn't do, no longer could do, or wanted to do, or gave a damn about doing, or whatever, and so she allowed him to get companionship somewhere else. And for her, it was an act of love, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? An act of sacrifice, I would think, you know, one of the most ultimate, that I know that I can't. And so it's okay, go ahead type thing. So that worked for them. One of the first times I had ever seen it, I was like, "Whoa," I was younger. So I said, "Oh, okay, that's different. That's a
They,
different kind of love."
she had the same disease. She had Alzheimer's.
She didn't have Alzheimer's. That's why I said she
Oh,
had a
she had
different disease.
different.
She didn't have Alzheimer's.
Okay.
She
Okay,
had
just
something that was
confirming.
terminal,
Yeah.
but it just
Okay.
wasn't Alzheimer's though. But it was something that was terminal.
Yeah, we threw
So
that
she
into
she
the
knew
mix
who he
too.
was. She knew who he was. It wasn't like she
Yeah.
didn't know. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing to do with her memory. But
Mhm.
and being terminally ill, there were some things that I'm sure of her wifely duty she didn't want to perform anymore. So she gave him the blessing to get companionship somewhere else. He
We
was
threw
there
that
until
in
the
the
day she
mix too.
died.
We
No
threw
Literally
white
there till
man
the
do
day
that
she
with a
died. So
young white
we
or
threw that
no
in the
white.
mix too. We said if the wife had cancer, she had terminal cancer, and she maybe had a year, maybe 2 years to live, and sometimes it could be less than that. Would that be okay then? To if she granted permission, do you think you should be able to step out and go find another girlfriend in between while she is slowly passing away, and
Well,
reverse
see,
that
here's
for
the thing:
husband? Would you think that'd be okay?
if I'm gonna go ahead, like if I was given the okay by my wife within our marriage, that's all that matters. It's only when because you know what, people will see that kind of relationship or these kind of relationships, and they'll be the ones to run to a media source like TLC or some shit and be like, oh my god, I know this couple and the husband is dating someone, even though it's a personal peace story. You know what I'm saying? The news and the media love to do shit like that, and they'll kind of blow it up and sensationalize it. But yeah, the a marriage is a binding agreement between those two individuals, and if like we were saying, like it's written in sickness and in health. So I would be wrong to leave you because you're sick. Would I not? Like that's literally that's what that part is in the vows for. I would be wrong to leave you in your sickness. But I also understand the aspect of, especially when it's Alzheimer's, there's the occasional time where you leave me and you're still here, where you mentally leave me. And when you mentally leave, our emotional connection is severed because you don't remember the times that we had. You don't remember the things that we shared. So that is hard for the person who is going, who not has to be married to them, because you don't have to be married to anyone. But then we'd be asking that question: is it okay to divorce someone because they have Alzheimer's? They didn't have Alzheimer's when you met them.
Mhm.
This is something that just happened. So how much do you love them is going to be shown in if you leave them or if you stay with them. How much they love you can be shown, and if they somehow retain the memory to force you to still be monogamous with them, or if they allow you, if they, like you just said, if they give you the okay, they allow you to have your mental, emotional, physical, and probably spiritual needs met from an outside person, because they are unable to do that for you, not just because you want it, but because they are unable to provide it, and it's because of this disease. Like, if that okay has been given to the significant other, it's everyone can look at it and say, "Oh, well, I wouldn't do that." I wouldn't do it either, because emotionally, I would be thinking about something different. Emotionally, I wouldn't want another partner, because I would be so tied up, mentally and emotionally tied up in the fact that my current partner is so unwell. I wouldn't want to have sex. I wouldn't want to go out and kind of do things. Like, there would be those days where maybe I would tell myself I need to do that in order to break away. But if I'm being honest, I really wouldn't be in the mood to, you know, start
Right.
a
It's
whole
not
new
like you
emotional
jovial.
connection.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Oh,
That's all I was saying. It's hard. It's a hard thing, that I totally I agree with what he's saying. It's not like you want to go out and just be like, well, you know what, I'm gonna go be with somebody else. So I was like, I don't know that even though it's a long period of time you're talking about, like he said, you made a commitment to in sickness and health to death do you part. But like the man was saying in the video, to death do him part meant him something different.
yeah. He ain't
It meant
leaving
something
her, but
different to him.
yeah.
Man, he ain't leaving her. He's still taking care of her. But, he said that he didn't feel like he needed to basically die because she was dying almost. He didn't need to lose his quality of life
And
because
that sounds
she was
harsh,
losing
but
her.
real. Like that,
That's
because
what
she
he
is
basically
dying
said.
a little bit. Like, Alzheimer is a disease that will claim your life. And like I was saying with Red, it's like it's hard to watch your partner kind of die
Dwindle
but
away.
still exist right there in front of you every day. Like,
Like
it's
wither away. Wither away.
but still be completely fine. Like, yeah, y'all could go out and hang out, y'all could do all of that, but they're not there. They're kind of dead, waiting on dirt a little bit. It's like when you got a computer that keeps resetting,
Yeah.
like it keeps rebooting. Like, you can't do anything as soon as you click. As soon as you try to get on the internet, it'll just go automatic restart. I don't remember nothing you was trying to do. You got a password? Fuck that shit. I don't remember your password.
Well, let me add this to the mix then, because I said this was going to take on other layers. Okay. So we're going to take disease out of this. We got people that are in relationships and they're not getting the same treatment later on in the relationship that they got at the very beginning. And
Ooh, them
then they
gotta be
want to creep out and go get the treatment from someone else. Emotional treatment, sexual treatment, maybe even financial treatment. Some people I've seen, I guess that could be what a polyamorous relationship or polygamy, rather, if it's in a marriage. They have an agreement or consent from the wife or the husband to go and seek another partner. Do you think that's okay without disease being involved? Healthy as a bull, healthy as a horse. If they don't feel
Well,
like they're getting a emotional or sexual connection with their wife or husband
I was
anymore,
saying this a little
do
bit
you think it's
earlier.
okay to go and get a partner outside of the marriage?
Rich white men do that all the time. Because I mean, I know you said no sickness, no disease or nothing, but you remember R.I.P. the lovely Anna Nicole Smith. Remember her first husband? That
I don't
90
remember
year
him.
old
Old
Anna,
man, the real
yeah,
old man.
Yeah,
that
the
90-year
billionaire.
old
I think.
dude that came into the 90-year-old man in a he was paralyzed. So damn, you said no disease, no nothing. But he was rich as shit. Mega fucking rich, because I want to say he was the inventor of Penthouse. Not Hustler. He was the inventor of Penthouse magazine. He
Mhm.
rolled in to a strip club one night, stumbled on a young Anna Nicole, and made her Anna Nicole Smith. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure in situations like that where your husband can't even get his dick up anymore, you're definitely allowed to do what you do. Because at that point, like you're just a trophy wife. Like that's what I would call a trophy wife situation where I literally just have you for appearances. Where I know I don't please you sexually. To be honest, you don't really do it for me because as a rich white man, I'm into some weird shit. And maybe you just won't do it for me. Maybe I have to go outside of our marriage and pay a prostitute. Y'all ever seen Wolf on Wall Street? Rich white men are perverts. Again, the second Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm making this episode Leonardo DiCaprio on Wolf of Wall Street had the bangingest of wives, but would still go outside of their relationship because he likes having candles stuck in his ass. He wants to be punished. He wants to be, rich men always want to be put in positions of subservience because it's the only thing that, since you're so powerful, people are just willing to suck your dick. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing to get your dick hard is when people are torturing you. S&M. It gets wild.
I'm talking about regular Joe Smos that do this, and there's a lot of them to do that.
Well, that would just be called cheating. We don't even have to.
No, I'm talking about they got consent. They're getting consent. They're married.
Well, that's an open relationship.
Are you okay? I'm saying, is that okay though?
I could say it's not, but that's not my damn relationship. I'm not in it. It's not open to me.
I mean, yeah, but would you do it though? I'm saying, if
would I be in an open relationship?
I don't feel like I can give you the emotional connection that you want, so go find it somewhere else. I don't feel like I can give you the sexual attachment that you want. Go find it somewhere else. Or the wife's like, you're not giving me the financial needs I need, so I'm gonna get this other guy to go spend the money on me. I'll still come home.
All he's gonna do
is
give you money and not nothing else. Like that's what I'm saying. Like so, like, and are you just going to, because just going to get money from a person is called a job. Like just going somewhere and getting payment.
Yeah, you don't get money for nothing though. She's doing
that's
something.
What I'm saying. So you're giving up more, even though you're with this person for a financial benefit.
That's what I'm saying. Would you be okay with any of those, say, attachments? Hell, we'll go with Will and Jada. They pretty much do that all the time.
You can see that.
Basically, they're not getting something that the other can't give, so they go find it from somewhere else, and then they come home.
But they're not okay with it. You can tell. That's why I feel like that's why Jada P could be disrespecting the fuck out of Will Smith, because they have an open relationship.
Those open relationships have a very high divorce rate, which no one ever talks about. It's like an 80 to 90% divorce rate. So they work for some people, but barely.
Allegedly, as we always know, Will Smith is into some stuff that maybe Jada Pinkett can't, won't, and just can't do for him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she don't smell like Dwayne. I don't know. Allegedly.
Thank you.
But if that's what he's into, that's what he's into. But they are married. So in these situations where, especially in Hollywood, where I think she said once, it's, she was met with the it's cheaper to keep her rule. When you're Will Smith in this situation, I'd stand to lose a lot more if I let you divorce me. I know I don't want to have sex with you. And hey, shit, you probably don't want to have sex with me. You keep talking about Tupac all the fucking time. It's almost like you would rather fuck Tupac than me. And you've also fucked August Alsina. We know about this. So, the relationship has been open. But as you can tell or see, they don't respect each other. They don't truly love each other. They're only together because, it would be fiscally beneficial for us to remain together. Like for Jada Pinkett, let's be honest, the scripts aren't coming in like it was 1996.
Comparing this to what we were just talking about, where somebody is diseased and they're not leaving. Well, they're not leaving fully. They feel like their needs aren't being met, just like the guy who had the woman who had Alzheimer's, or someone who has cancer. This scenario, they're healthy, but they still don't feel like their needs are all being met. Sexual, emotional, financial, one of the three, or all three. Is it okay to step out of the marriage?
Is it okay? No, that's because marriage, again, that's the legally binding document that says you cannot do that. That there is consequences and repercussions if you were to do that.
I'm just saying though, it's the same thing as the other one though. Is it? Do you think it's the same thing? I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm just throwing that out there. Do you think it's the same thing?
Not if there's deceit,
No,
according to
I'm
this
saying
man.
she's giving consent.
Oh, if she's giving consent, then yeah, it's cool. I guess. Like you painting it two different ways.
No. I said consent both ways. It's just
did.
either way, you're not getting something. Is sickness, you're not getting nothing, and in health, you're not getting nothing.
I don't think it's right in neither one of the situations. It's not right for me. Let me say this. It's not right for me in either one of the situations. You know what I'm saying? I can't see me having somebody else, because somebody has Alzheimer's or cancer. I'm not gonna do an open relationship. I don't share well. I'm just not gonna do that. I
Right.
want something that's mine. I want something. So for me, it wouldn't ever be right. Disease or
Why
no
get married?
disease.
I would say.
Yeah, it's like shit. If you want to do all that, get divorced. What is the purpose? I understand that, for the people that are in it, they have their reasons for staying financially. It's cheaper to keep or all that other shit. But it's like at that point, you all are both disrespecting what you have anyway. So, I mean, you're making a farce of it. So it's not like, I guess financially, I get it. But if you're going to do that, y'all might as well just, I don't know. It wouldn't be right for me. It wouldn't be right for me.
Right. And
At
I agree with you on that. I don't see what would be the purpose of getting married if you're going to do that anyway. No one is ever going to meet 100% of your expectations, first of all, because no one's 100% perfect when it comes to that. But there's a point where you have to accept the person's faults and be able to still live together in harmony, but you can work on maybe your faults. Maybe somehow you can work on being, meet the sexual emptiness that you have or the financial emptiness that you have, maybe somehow, or you can come to a middle ground somewhere. But no one's ever going to meet 100% of what you want from your significant other. That's a fairy tale that's been told to a lot of people, like, oh, he's going to be my everything. No one's going to be your everything. No one is. Because no one's God, for one. So no one can be your everything.
I'm God. No, I'm not playing. But again, it would still be, I feel like, telling people if you're asking me to say if I think it's okay if other people just get into relationships and say, well, my partner doesn't have this, so I seek it in other places, and that's what I do. I think again, I'm not God, even though Lord is in front of my name. What do you think you be talking to, Red? Lord, but yeah, I could say that is wrong, because you're not even getting into relationships for the exact reason you should be getting into a relationship, and that's to build a foundation with that person. What you're trying to do is secure your own finances, or secure your own level of pleasure that you feel like is not getting, which at the end of the day is just self-indulgent. It's self-centered, it's immature, and it's not why we get together. We literally get together to procreate, not recreate. And there's a reason they put pro in front of it, because there should be progression in when you pair with someone. But if you're only doing that so that you progress, you're not really, you're creating more broken people in the process, while still being a broken person yourself, even though you think you're fulfilling your needs.
All right.
And that's the
a
word of
good
God.
point.
Like,
That's a
I
good
literally
point.
read that in the Bible somewhere. Like, that's how I know they stole my whole flow, word for word, bar for bar.
That's a good point, because a lot of people that try to seek out everything in the person they're with, they're probably broken in that area, and they're trying to put everything that they're trying to get into that person they're with. So instead of fixing what's broken with them, they go try to find it outside of the marriage or relationship. And that's where deceit usually happens. But even if consent is given, the situation is never fixed. Like I said, you go look at the statistics for open marriage, it's very low. They don't stay married long. It may look great, but they don't stay married that long compared to regular. I mean, regular marriage it's got a very low rate nowadays, but open marriage is much lower. If you're gonna play the lottery, I say go to go to a regular marriage.
And if they don't end on paper in divorce, like in a crazy Hollywood fashion, they end in some crazy Hollywood fashion, usually a double murder, homicide.
Hey, you just thought about that.
Double murder, suicide.
Is someone who's in a polygamy marriage, and they divorce several of the women that's in. Let's say they got 3 people in the polygamy marriage. I mean, that's a lot of splitting up you got to do a divorce. That's a
Well, they could
a
divorce
lot of
just
money
one
split up and
person.
lost.
But they
So
could
what now?
divorce just one person. They don't have to divorce all of the wives. They could just divorce one of the
Yeah,
wives and still have the
I
other
got you.
2.
And
So,
I don't know the
hey, that's what
rules.
happened with the
I was just,
ones that were on TV. That's what happened to the sister
yeah,
wives.
yeah. No, I was
They
just saying
started divorcing one
if
by
if
one.
You didn't have a show like
I was
that.
just saying if the husband, I don't know, he's just a very horrible husband, and all 3 of them agreed that hey, he's not worth staying with, and they all divorced him at the same time or a couple months
Are
ahead of
they
each
in
other.
a are they in a country or a location where they are allowed to divorce them? Because like we're only looking at polygamy from the Americas.
I'm
So
talking about America. Yeah.
okay, okay, America. Goddamn. So we in Utah with it. We in Utah with it.
Yeah.
All right. Can women vote in Utah? Do they
Yeah.
have
They can vote everywhere.
Utah is different. Utah is different. You ever heard of Mormonism?
Yeah, I've heard them. We got them out here.
We do.
Yeah,
You know
we got
what?
them out here.
You know, I ran into a couple. I remember I broke down on the street one day, like I was like 19 years old. They helped me push my car into a tobacco station.
They probably wanted to ride.
They wanted they wanted to share the word of the good
I know.
white savior Jesus Christ with me. You know what I'm saying? Like their help came at a price. I had to.
I know they don't have no car. I know they didn't have a car when
They pulled up on bikes. Yo, they was really out there peddling the word of Jesus Christ. On hey, sir, hold on. Yeah, they had fucking streamers on their shit and everything. Yo, but they was dressed like, little pastors, you know what I'm saying? Just a black white shirt with a black tie.
Dressed like the Blues Brothers.
A short sleeve button up white shirt.
That's what would give me the edge of them over Jehovah's Witness. Jehovah's Witness usually walk everywhere. I got to have at least a bike. I'm gonna go door to door.
Man. They were so nice. They were so pleasant, but there were so many undertones of wanting me to submit to their way of thinking, which I appreciate you helping me with my car, but no, thank you. So yeah, that's why I ask about Utah and Mormonism, because that also their allowance of polygamy stems from their adherence to that religion, which one of the only American religions that allow polygamy. Interestingly enough, they also think Native Americans are the devil. Weird, you know what I'm saying? That's a weird little racist tidbit about them.
Oh, and don't they also believe in the curse of Ham being
turned
black? Ham turning black.
Oh my god! Oh, that's why I thought
there's a whole video they got, a whole cartoon video they got of that.
When you're racist, I think you hate women as well, because like you hate women and children if you're racist. I think.
All right, Sparky.
Yeah,
So let me ask Sparky real quick. So Sparky, what if we're just gonna go with emotional? If your man says he feels like he doesn't have an emotional connection to you, and he said he feels like you don't feel like you can give it to him, you like, well, I'm not. This is who I am. Would you be okay if he go find it with someone else? Would you ever give somebody consent for that? He ain't going. He's not going to have.
Listen, he can go find it with. I don't give a damn. He can go find it with somebody else and not bring his ass back to me. Like I'm not with that. I told you I don't share it well. I'm not with that shit. If you get to where I'm not providing you what you need or whatever, and you feel like you need to go get it from the next chick, that's your prerogative. You just keep your ass over there with the next chick. You know what I'm saying? Just you keep that same energy, keep that same time, like all that. I'm not with that. I'm not with that.
Crazy. You know what's crazy? People won't even share their cup, but they're willing to share all those other things I named. They wouldn't drink after someone else's cup.
They be drinking and trying to waterfall it in the air and whatnot instead of putting their lips on it and this and that. And then, like you said, but you willing to share all the other stuff.
I just
always feel like people
at the rate people buying Plan Bs and all that other shit, people ain't using protection and none of that, but y'all out here sharing, like just sharing.
Yeah. Can I drink after you?
Ew, no. It's crazy.
Because you don't have to. I'll get you a cup. Like that's the thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Because the exchanging of energies sexually is already a heavy process that should be done with people that you really trust and really vibe with. And to do that with multiple people, and especially have that sacred bond of what we feel like a marriage is on top of that, you're kind of ruining everything. Like, even though marriage was constructed as some shit to just have us out here spending money and miserable together, like, you're still ruining the foundation of what should be used to build both of you together, build a successful lineage of people, another generation of, loving, caring, intelligent people, instead of just, I hate my life, I hate the person that I ended up with, I hate that, like, instead of just recreating hateful people, procreating powerful, inspired people.
So we're not into sharing anything, I guess, unless someone is
We
definitely
share
sick.
things we don't care about.
All right. Now I'm talking about with this situation with finding another person. The only way you guys feel like you will share is if the person's on their deathbed or on their way to the
Even
deathbed.
then, I ain't sharing. I never
Hey,
said that was
okay.
okay.
I got you.
I'm not sharing then in. After it ain't no damn sharing. Like, after they go on and they die, or I die, or they go on their way, or I go on my way, then it's okay to go do what you're gonna do. But
Yeah,
if
like,
we
I'm not taking
together, it ain't no damn sharing. It's no sharing. I don't share well. I'm not sharing. It's not no situations where I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's okay to share. The answer is hell no. Like, nah,
Yeah,
that's
because
not
what if
sharing
me.
I
is
wanted to die and like the last thing I wanted to die was which is it could be weird, but you know what? Yeah, like, it could be weird, but it's like, hey, don't be out there using yourself up, because I'd like to die getting some ass. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to die. Like, don't be out there used up and shit. I don't want sloppy seconds on my way out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could be weird
It's
to
like, keep
to
it
to
right.
die with a
Like,
dead body on top or underneath you or behind you, or to wake up with that. But you know what I'm saying? Look
I
out,
got,
look out.
I got what you're saying. We got a lot of people that pretty much, and I'm talking now without consent. A lot of people do that where they don't feel like they're getting none of the things that we talked about earlier, and so they do that with deceit. I was just trying to see, with permission, would that be okay? But we got a lot of people that do that without permission. I guess they call it cheating.
It's okay for them. It's okay for them. That's what I'm.
Shouldn't be, but
right,
you
it's
know,
kind of like counting somebody else's pockets. I can't tell them what to do with their relationship, how to move with it, what's okay with them, what their flow should be. I can only speak what's okay for me, and that should
I can
never
talk
be
shit
okay
about
for
it
me.
all that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can do that, of course. Like, I can be opinionated about it, but whatever. I'm not moving in judgment, so you do what you want to do you. Whatever makes you happy. If you like it, I love it.
But you
As
want me to
long as it
do?
don't affect
Yeah,
me. As long as it don't affect me.
they
What you got
nasty.
going on
That's what
started
you want.
affecting me. Now we got a whole lot of issues. So I just
Oh, well, see, now you've raised up the other question that's
They in
popping
an
in my
open
head.
relationship. They nasty. Yeah.
What's that
What's
song
the
from?
other question?
What's the guy from the Bad Boy? He made a song and they remade it, I think last year. I can't remember.
Guy from
Mario Winans, I think is his name. He made a
who's
song.
on Bad?
I Don't Want to Know. I think that's the
Oh,
name
that
of the
was
title.
Mario Winans, wasn't it? I don't want to
Yeah,
know.
yeah. There's that situation where people are like, you can do it, just don't bring nothing back. Don't bring no babies. Don't bring no disease. I don't want to know what you're doing. There's those kind of people too.
That's how you end up
Yes,
Janet
there
Jackson
are.
in For Color Girls.
What's that?
That's how you end up Janet Jackson in For Color Girls,
Oh,
because not knowing,
I don't. We ain't even gonna talk. I don't want to talk
not
about.
nah,
We're gonna
nah.
end up talking about in the next segment. I promise you.
Okay,
That's not.
word. Okay, hey, look, I'm about to end up like Jonathan from Charlotte.
I hate that movie. I hate it. Hate it. But
Ditto.
yeah,
It's
we
the
got those
worst.
people that got those type of mentality. Just don't tell me what you're doing on the side. I don't want to know. If you need to go be satisfied, just go do what you're gonna do, but just don't tell me. And they'll have those conversations with the guy. Now, most of the time, guys ain't gonna say that to women, but I have seen women that had that conversation with guys.
I've seen women do that, and I know women that feel like men are gonna be men, so they gonna
Yeah.
cheat and do what they gonna do anyway. So
I
you
have
might as
seen
well let
it.
them just go ahead and do it as long as he don't. So same thing. I know some people that's like that, and I ain't with that shit either.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't believe men are just men, and you just let them be men because they men. They do that shit because you ain't holding them to no standard.
Right.
what I'm saying? People do to you what you allow them to do to you. So if you allow them to move with you like that and you're still okay with it, then they're gonna continue to move with you like that. But I'm not with that. Men are just, men gonna be men. Nah, that's a cop out.
Yeah.
That's a cop out. But I know plenty of people that feel like that. I know plenty of people that move like that, say that, feel like that. But I just feel like that's a cop out.
Yeah. If it's hidden, and if you were to see what they would do when it's hidden, and you were to get mad, then you cannot be okay with it. That's how I feel about it. You can't say you're okay with it and not see it. But if you were to walk in on it happening, you're like, what the hell are you doing? And then you get pissed and you hit him and the woman.
It's a blissful,
so it can't be okay.
Out of sight.
Lying to yourself.
As long as I don't see it, then I can tell myself that it's not happening.
That's what black people do with the bills that they late on sometimes. We be like, if I don't see it's happening, then I ain't got to pay it. So it's not there.
You don't see them shits.
That's why our credit score
be
so low.
What other mail do you get? What other mail are you getting? I tell you what, it ain't Ed McMahon or Vincent McMahon who Peaches. Here you go, Jada Pinkett. A reference to a Jada Pinkett character, Peaches from Low Down Dirty Shame. Whoever she was talking about. If it ain't Vince McMahon with a big ass check.
What do you mean Ed McMahon?
One of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, Vince McMahon's the wrestling guy. Ed McMahon's the Tonight
Show
guy.
The wrestling motherfucker. Oh man, damn!
Ed McMahon was the guy with the check.
Is he dead? RIP Ed McMahon? Is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, he
okay,
dead.
RIP that dude.
Vince McMahon is the wrestling billionaire guy. So yeah, he got money too. So if he show up with a check,
they both wrestling dudes?
No, Ed McMahon was on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Okay, and he definitely did, right?
He did the Publishing Clearinghouse.
But he did Publishing Clearinghouse commercials too, right?
Yeah.
Where he been dead. RIP one of them. I'll let the viewers decide which one they want the RIP to go to.
Yeah. So would you say that person is of low self-esteem if they're just saying, just don't tell me it's happening? Do what you do, just don't tell me. What would you tell them?
Hold on, what?
If the person is saying to their guy, I know you need what you need, just don't tell me. Don't bring nothing back to me. Don't bring no babies, no diseases. Don't bring the woman to the house. Just don't tell me. Which is kind of almost like giving consent when you think about it.
Yeah, like not even in a female sense, but that's some bitch ass shit. Like if a woman or a man says that, that's just some because that means you're so dependent upon your relationship with them, whether it be finances, whether you're just or the pussy or the dick is that good, or you're so afraid of being alone. Like for some reason, you would much rather be blissfully ignorant to them disrespecting you and potentially putting you in harm's way of contracting something from their illicit affairs, that you would just rather be able to have the peace of mind that as long as I don't see it, it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
That's bitch assery.
Mm-hmm. Then the mind says, well, he don't belong to me. I don't own him. I can't tell him what to do. So he can go do what he want to do. And like he said, men are gonna be men, so what, it's whatever. And this is like the question I asked the other week. Do most women think that the majority of men are good men or below 50%? Like what is the percentage on that? And then the other way around, do men think most women are good women? What is the percentage on that? To think if you would have to think it's below 50% to think, well, men are just gonna be men. I would imagine.
Yeah, you would have to.
Yeah.
You would have to, because if not, then you would think it's a toss-up. It could go this way or it could go that way if you think it's 50%.
I say 33%. 33% are like good, 33% are bad, and 33% are like good, bad. And then you got that like that 0.1% or whatever, because 33, and 33 make 99. So you got 1% that's like the 1%, that illicit 1%, that mythical man that everyone, that mythical man that exists, that everyone.
Are you saying for men or for women that are?
I don't know who even is. Like for women, I guess.
Do you think 33% of women are good?
No, I'm sorry, you said for men.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, for people, because that's the way it has to. Because it's very black and white. It's very black and white when we say 50% of this and 50% of that. Though we do live in a universe of duality, that's kind of a harsh frame to take because
I mean, I'm talking about for dating.
Right?
Not over. I'm talking about for dating or marrying.
For dating or marriage, like
again, yeah. Are there majority for dating good women, and are there majority for dating good men?
I ain't never dated a dude, so Sparky.
No, I wasn't. I'm putting that across the board. I'm putting that for Sparky to answer, and then you to answer for the women.
I don't think that. Let me see. I think when people talk in generalizations,
you can go between 10%. You can go between 50 and 60. I'll give you some area to work with, not just like on 50 and 60. You can go in between 10% difference.
Okay, what I personally think, I honestly think that most people are good people. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you got good and bad in everything. With men, with women, with black, with white, in every situation, it balances. You got the negative and the positive, the yin, the yang. I think you have that in every situation. So
overall,
I think that people.
Overall,
well, everybody is not gonna be dating material though.
I mean, yeah.
So if you talking about people, so if you talk about what percentage of men I think are dating material, because good men and dating material. Okay, dating material shit. Okay, I got you. That would be a lower number than what I think would be. Hold on. Than what I think would be a good man always. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, just because somebody's a good man, that doesn't automatically make them dating material for you. I don't think just because that's why I said to me dating material would be a lower number than what I think are generally are good men. I think that would be a higher number, because that's the general mass of men. I think it's a higher number. And then what I think would be eligible for me with dating, I think would be a lower number than what I think are good men. And I think that majority of people are good. So I think the majority of men are.
There could be a good.
I think it could be a good what?
There could be a good gay guy overall as a good person, but he's not a dateable person.
But he's
right. Because what if you think being homosexual is bad? Like, because again, some women,
some people think that that's bad. I got you, but some people think that that's bad or whatever. So,
but you can have your own beliefs, though. But I'm saying majority.
It's hard. Like, it's hard to really narrow it down to a percent.
Yeah, it's not.
It's hard to narrow it down to a percent, but I think that more than not, I think are good. And I really do. I think even with men, even with men, just in general, we're talking about in men. I think that more than not, men are good. Yeah, I do. I think more than not. Now, as far as whether men are all dating material, I don't think they're all dating material. I mean, but
yeah, that's what I'm going
not
with.
Like I don't know. It's hard to come up with a number. It's not like it's like no men are dating material. Come on, nah. And if that's so, then that's why you ask by yourself. If that's what you think, that's why you by yourself.
These dudes.
Like, if you were to tell your daughter, would you tell your daughter most of these guys are out here, good men out here to date? Majority of them. Would you tell them that, or would you tell them they're below 50%? They're below.
What was the question? Would I tell my daughter what now?
Are that if she say, "Oh, do you think most of the men out here in the United States are dating material for marriage?" Because that's the purpose of dating. Most of them getting married. Would you tell them, yes, majority of men out here, you're gonna be able to easily find a good guy for marriage out here? Or would you tell them it's gonna be hard? It's gonna be like a diamond in the rough to find a good man out here for marriage, which would be below 50%. Be below.
Honestly,
I don't think that it would be easy. I don't think that it would be easy. I don't think that I wouldn't tell my daughter it would be easy. Because I think telling her it would be. Well, I think telling her that it would talk about marriage, but I would tell my daughter as far as out here now in today's society, as far as marriage material, I would not tell her it would be easy to find a husband material. Because I don't feel like most young men, she's my daughter, she's going to be younger. So I don't feel like most young men want to be married. So
They
for
don't.
it to be easy to find, they don't. Think about it. We just talked about them open relationships. Most men want a harem. They want a
Grown men,
family.
like
You know what I'm
men in their
saying?
40s want
Most
open
men, and I'm
relationships.
not. I mean, I know that, but I'm talking about. But
I mean, I'm saying like even into that age, they'll be so
yeah,
stuck in the fact
yes,
that I
but I
don't want
still
to
think
settle
that even
down.
up to 40 is still young, though. I still relatively, you know what I'm saying? So, but
Mhm.
I think that in this day and age, most people want their cake and eat it too. They want to have an open relationship. They want to have a main girl, a side girl. The girls have each other, another girl that do this, another. That's how they want it. That's what they want. And if they can have it, that's what they have going for. So with that, do I think it would be easy to find a husband in this day and age for a young? No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. And I'm not saying that men don't want to get married, because I know there are men out there, young men out
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
that are marriage material and want to be married. But I don't think that that's an easy thing to find.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. It could be 0 to 10%, could be 30 to 40, or it
The
could
thing
be
that's
90 to
interesting about it,
100.
it's always going to
I don't
be
think it's 90 to 100. So I mean, it's probably probably at
it's
least
always
under
going to be
50%.
subject to change. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
Because
think it's 0 to 10 either. But
I got you. I got you. So
it
okay, LT, a question for you. For women, what do you think?
word. What's up?
What do you think for women on your end? What's the percentage you would give? 10% difference. 0 to
Okay.
10, 20 to 30, 80 to 90. What would you give?
See here, and that is just as dicey as well. There are so like I could not sit here and say what makes a woman a good woman or a bad woman. I could
You know
only
what makes a good woman a good woman. Come on now.
You know what? You're right. I could say that based upon opinion and feeling. But and then to say what is a good woman or a bad woman for me, like what I'm and what am I? Who am I looking for in terms of dating? Um, there are certain things about women that, though I don't find inherently bad, I wouldn't date you though. Like so, a percentage is yeah.
example.
If you want some actual numbers, 33.
No, I wanted an example. Like, what you mean you don't find it inherently bad, but you wouldn't date him? What give me
Boom, like
give me an
the
example.
biggest example I could use, like let's say she's an OnlyFans model. Boom.
Oh shit.
Uh, if you want to do that and you're not in a committed relationship, you're single and open because porn is an industry. You know what I'm saying? Like porn and the sex industry, that's a millennia old industry and it ain't going out of business no motherfucking time soon. Somebody got to provide that. If you walked into a strip club today and it was empty, where are the hoes at? Where the nigga, if you don't get up there and twerk your like you would like it would be wild. So whereas I don't see that as inherently bad that you're fulfilling a financial income for yourself and maybe fulfilling a maybe you actually grew up and said I want to be a sex worker. I don't know. So I can't judge you and I won't judge you for that. I wouldn't date you though. And that's okay.
I
You
feel
probably
you.
wouldn't date me because I'm not okay with the fact that you would be getting cum doing all the time. You would probably call me insecure. You would say, "Well, a real man," all of that. It's cool. It's cool. We're not interested in each other. I don't see what you do because again, I might scroll by and click like. I'm not going to pay for it. Though. That's what X videos is for. I don't have to pay for it. Don't ever think. But yeah, as whereas I don't see that as inherently bad. That doesn't work for me in a relationship. There are good qualities that some women have. Let's see if I can think of an example. Uh, uh, Boom. The most basic example a woman could have for being a quote unquote good woman is being able to cook. That's great. That's amazing. I can cook for myself. So it's not a make or break thing for me to be in a relationship with a woman that can't cook. That's not necessarily a oh my god, what the fuck? Why did your mother allow you to leave her vagina and not being able to cook like that? Like I'm, you know what I'm saying? That's not gonna But some people would say, "Oh, if she can't cook, throw her back." What you doing with a woman that can't cook? That's wild. Like what you doing with a man who don't have a job? What are you doing with a insert whatever the fuck here? So yeah, it's really dicey to say. If you want percent, I'll give you 33, 33. 33 and 1. 33 good, 33 bad, 33 like, I'm good, bad. I'm what I'm saying, you don't know my story. I've been through this and I've been through that. So I had to do some good. I had to do some bad to get some good
things. Ain't good then.
And then there's that 1% of that 1% is your dream person. That 1% is your dream man or your dream woman.
They're still working on themselves then if they're in between. So they're not good. They're too indecisive.
A lot of us.
You can give it 33 between 33 and 43. That's why I say I didn't want it precise on 33. You can give it 10% difference.
I love precision.
But it's still below 50% then, so you're still saying it's below average.
Yeah, because I don't think it's as black as white as 50% are good and 50% are bad, because it would be a lot easier to pair with a good woman if we just had it broken down like that. If we just knew, okay, this, and this makes you bad, and 50% of women are this. Like if things were as a monolith as a whole or half of a whole section of the gender just being one way and saying, hey, I am a not good woman that only wants to mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially drain you of everything that you are as a man. That is me. That is what I am. Those women don't just acknowledge themselves in that way. So how are we to know that they're bad? I would literally just have to assume. I would have to assume, or I would have to meet.
Y'all know there are fundamental things that you're going to look for in a man and a woman. Just like we were saying earlier, you're not going to find everything in your mate. You're never going to find that. So that's finito. You cannot find that. Never can find everything in your mate. There are fundamental things that every man and every woman looks for. Now, fundamentally, woman is not going to look for a man that's going to beat on her. That's one of the fundamental things you're going to look for.
Say that, but a lot of women line up for Chris Brown.
It's because he's famous and he has money. So again, he's not married. We're talking about marriage.
But being famous and having money is marriage material to a lot of people, not just women, but men as well.
And they're they also got problems with themselves. Then, if they think Chris Brown is marriage material based off of his history, he may be.
If you ask Chris Brown, he gonna be like, "What the fuck you mean, Red? What you mean?"
Chris Brown may be marriage material now. I don't know what's going on in his life now, but based on his past,
you ain't hear no guidance.
Based on what his past and what happened with him, whether you want to blame Rihanna or not. If you think he was marriage material at that time, then there's something wrong with you. And then you're probably not marriage material because there's something you need to get fixed with yourself.
You got to, because you just telling out all the you need therapy, and you need therapy, and you need hostile therapy.
Some of them just need electric shock therapy and some drugs. But in this case, no, that ain't the one. Chris Brown won't the one.
I mean, I get that.
I don't like to judge the brother now. I don't know what's happening in his life now.
Boom. So would you say the same thing about my man, the God MC Papoose? Because he married a woman with a violent like a history of violence and shit.
That was that before or after?
Is Remy Ma marriage material? She been to jail.
Mm-hmm. What did she go to jail for?
Stabbing a bitch or something, or she ain't stab her. Jay-Z stabbed somebody, but I think she ran up on somebody. She definitely got busy. You know what I'm saying? She definitely put them paws on somebody. It was assault and probably aggravated. She was definitely. I want to say she was aggravated.
Did she hit him?
Oh no, she did this to a woman.
Yeah, I'm saying you can't fight nobody. Well, I don't know what.
But she went to jail because of it. She put her career in jeopardy because of it. She went away for 8 years. Just like this man in the video is saying, my wife has had I've been dealing with this for 8 years, 8 to 10 years. She hasn't been there for me for real. But that man, Papoose.
Did he marry her in prison or before?
No, he married Remy Ma while she was in jail.
That's his journey then.
Wild. He tried to sneak in a skeleton key at one point to break her the fuck out. That might be a rumor, but I want that rumor to spread more.
That's his choice on that. But I'm not going to say that's the first choice someone should look for. Is someone that puts their life and career in jeopardy, because she also lost time with being with her kids.
But he married her though.
He did. That don't make it right.
And they
okay,
so
she
I
went.
don't know if they divorced, but they haven't.
She went to prison for 6 years for shooting
It's
a
a long
friend.
time.
Oh, shot
For
that.
shooting a friend in a
No, she
dispute
shot
over
somebody.
$3,000. This is according to Rolling Stone. So I'm reading a Rolling. I'm like, okay, let me see what. And this is a Rolling Stone. First thing it said, former Terror
$3,000.
Squad. It literally says former Terror Squad rapper served 6 years for shooting a friend in a dispute over $3,000. Is what it says.
BX get busy.
It says she was released from prison after serving 6 years for an assault. Confirmed Rolling Stone. Let me see here.
She did that
My
to a
real
friend. What she
name,
think? What
Reminiscence
you think
Smith,
she
was
did?
convicted of intentional assault back in 2008 for shooting Medica Barnes Joseph in a dispute over $3,000, but was able to have her initial sentence of 8 years scaled back upon her release from the Bedford County Correctional Facility for Women. The former Terror Squad was greeted by her husband, Pat Poose, as well as her manager and other members of her entourage.
Trigger happy pappy.
Okay, let's see what it says. Smith was just 26 when she was found guilty of assaulting Joseph. As the New York Times reported, the shooting capped off a string of betrayals, with Smith claiming that members of her entourage exploited her fame for their own gain. The incident with Joseph specifically occurred at a nightclub after Smith asked her friend to hold her purse. When she took it back, $3,000 in cash was missing. A struggle ensued, during which Smith claimed she accidentally shot Joseph in the abdomen. And it says last week she was at where she got it about being released.
Shot a dude.
I see they got married just days before she started her sentence.
Which means she was on trial though. He knew she was going down for that shit.
Oh yeah, I think she was already found guilty at that point.
Hell the fuck. Homie should have leaned back.
Yeah, so she shot somebody. She said she shot her by accident, but
really?
It don't even matter because the court found you guilty of it.
Yeah.
They said intentional. That's what the fuck I couldn't not aggravated, but intentional assault. You meant
she
to do
probably
that.
had the gun out, but she probably didn't mean to shoot her. Maybe.
Well, you know how strict New York is, real strict on gun laws. So you know what I'm saying. This happened there at the nightclub. You are ready because it was there.
You know what happened with Puff and Shine? That boy got deported off of that gun.
I wonder was that gun registered?
Went back to Judaism.
I wonder was that gun even registered she had that night, because that definitely
it didn't speak to none of that, not in that article, but
no, it was not. Because that's what criminals think is smart. I'm gonna get a gun that's not registered to me, so they can't trace it back to me. But the fact that it's not registered is already the fact that you got it. That's what makes the fact. Like, come on, just come with us. Just get in the car. Just get in the car. We'll tell you about Miranda on the way to Rikers.
Pat Poose, don't know. Sure, he probably knew something about her or about her character before that made him stay with her and marry her when she started her prison sentence. If somebody were on the outside would just start to date her after finding that out, say one of my friends asked her, "You think she's marriage material after finding this happen?" And he wanted to start dating her when she just went to prison, I say no.
I'm pretty sure one of Pat Poose's friends said no. I'm pretty sure Pat. But
he already knew her. He dated her.
You got the hottest first out on the streets. What you doing dating a girl in jail?
He very well could have, but like I said, there's fundamental things
she behind bars.
We look for in somebody where we're going to say that person is not marriage material. And maybe she had those fundamental things that he said she's worth staying for and staying married with. First of all, because they had a kid together. And, there's also right to go with someone who's in prison, that someone who's married to him, conjugal visits, stuff like that. And I guess probably easier to give money, whatever, put on money on their books. I don't know. But there's things later because there are a lot of people who are a married couple, that the ones in prison or whatever. So I'm sure that played a lot into his decision to marry her while she was right before she was getting ready to go into prison. But I would
So
never say
you saying Trigger Happy Pappy only married her so he could get some conjugal visits?
that helps. I'm sure that helps. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but there's a lot of reasons that go on that. There's a lot of reasons why people get married, period. That financial reasons why people get married. Probably the handling her money and her estate too, that he probably couldn't touch if he didn't marry her.
See, here's the thing. I'm led to believe, and I'm not pocket watching Remy Ma, but if you shooting niggas over $3,000, I can only imagine that you're not the financial breadwinner in your if you're going to that lengths, because the smarter thing to do would have been to get the law involved. But she wasn't thinking in that moment, and things escalated. Things happened. Shots rang out. Shots were fired, and some people got laid down.
It wasn't about the money. It was about respect. I guarantee you, if you ask her, she's gonna say, "Nah, it wasn't a money thing. It was a respect thing. You don't take money." And that's her friend too that took her money. Emotions got involved in that.
Yeah, that was an emotional response that I would look at and say, I don't know if I would marry someone who would make an emotional response like that.
I wouldn't be mad at you for that. I wouldn't be mad at you for that.
That man, that the God MC himself, when Biggie Smalls gave him a shout out one time. So this is what has goated him. It's January. I listened to the Papoose January mixtape. He did a mixtape for all 12 months of the year back in 2021 or some shit. That boy collected a check. So that leads me to believe he's also been a ghostwriter within the industry for many, many years. So he doesn't need her as a financial backing. So he didn't marry her to have access to her funds. Don't ever try to play Trigger Happy Pappy like that again.
No, not to have access. Them as a couple, you're married. You can't control. You don't have any control of her estate if you were just boyfriend and girlfriend.
I don't think she had it. I'm going to be honest. I
think
they
had a kid together too.
Was that Escalade that she was getting head in the lean back video, in the fur coat from the Conceited video. I honestly think those are the only things she had, because she felt like she was being betrayed and taken advantage of by her label and her management. She didn't feel like she was being paid adequately. So I feel like, boom, even more bigging up on this man Papoose. He married her so that he could step in as a man should and handle shit for her, because Papoose actually has an interesting run-in with Fat Joe, where he actually had to pull up and put pause on Fat Joe, because when Remy got out, he wasn't trying to pay her royalties and give her masters for the work that she had done with Terror Squad and shit.
But that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, he stepped up as a man, and that's what part of the marriage part helped out, is him stepping up as a man, helping out with that financial part.
But that was him being good to a person that society had already deemed bad. When society puts you in jail, because you get put in there by a jury of your peers, at least 12 of them motherfuckers, 12 like the Zodiacs. It's all cyclical. Yeah, they have deemed you bad. They have deemed you not even, they don't even send you to a place, because you don't actually get rehabilitated at jail or in jail or in those correctional facilities. So society would say, why would you marry someone that you know is on their way to literally functionally being dead for 6 years? Because being in prison is like being dead. Society, the world moves on without you. And unless you got a fucking radio or they give y'all extra TV time or some shit, it's not like you can really keep up with what's going on. You're missing out. You're not able to be there physically, really mentally or emotionally. Like you're not able to be there physically, so that makes the emotional and mental and physical and the financial part of being married even tougher. So for him to still want to marry her in that situation,
not impossible, but tougher. Yes.
Not impossible, but tougher. So for him to still want to marry her in that situation speaks, that's an altruistic kind of view that many would deem as a
I give him all the props. I give him all the props. But I would not say initially, without some background, I would date Remy Ma based on that. If I saw if that's just the beginning of meeting Remy Ma, that's all I know about her, then no, I would not. He knows he has history with her, and there's some fundamental things that
they're not even from the same
no other woman. He wouldn't do this for just any woman. He knows something about Remy Ma that he said she's worth it.
She got bars. That's what he said. It was all about the bars for him. Because I remember she gave this real TMI interview where she said, you know what I'm saying, yeah, we had the conjugal visit thing popping off, but sometimes I'm in there for 6 years. Sometimes those conjugal visits line up on days where the cycle is on. You know what I'm saying? And it's, are you still showing up? He's still showing up. Because, and not even just for the conjugality of the visit, but because this is our time to be together. You know what I'm saying? This is our, again, if someone, that could be a bad thing. You're on your period, bad. I don't want to be around you. That is bad, and I can't stand that about you. That's why a lot of men don't actually like being in monogamous relationships with women, because you would have to actually deal with those womanly things that women are forced to deal with every day as well.
Just like, that's just something you got to deal with. I mean,
not if you live a bachelor lifestyle until you're fucking dead.
No, I'm talking about if you want to be in a marriage, you're gonna have to take the good with the bad. Again, no one's gonna be your everything, so you're gonna have to some point coalesce and take the pros with the cons. No one can be your everything, but you can come close.
As you see in marriages, people either just settle with that and die a little on the inside, or they go outside of it.
Or instead of doing that, maybe fix something about themselves.
They don't do that. That's not what
they don't. Yeah, you're right. They don't. That's because it's much easier to just go talk to someone else, and that's
because I can find justification in my feelings with an outside source.
All right. Well, we're gonna leave that one. Then we're on that one for a little bit. Let's move to the next one. Before I go into it, has anybody seen The New Color Purple?
Man, you know the fuck I haven't. Oh, you have?
You have? Okay.
I saw the day it came out.
Oh, what was it? Christmas Day?
Spoil it for me. Let me guess.
That was Christmas night.
Christmas night? Okay. I glanced at it last night. Well, I did more than glance, but I didn't watch the whole thing. But I got the gist of it, I think. Of course, it's relatively like the other one, except a lot more singing in it.
Damn.
But
it's like a musical, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like most people didn't know that. I mean, I knew it. I guess maybe because I read a little bit more.
They casted Fantasia in the film. You only cast Fantasia in your film if you got singing in your film.
Right. But some people just didn't seem to understand that, because that was one of the chief complaints, because it broke records for the night it came out, the day it came out. So people went in droves, I guess, in anticipation for it. But it suffered a steep decline right after that. They are reported that they spent about 100 to 130 million in advertisement and production for this movie, and it looks like it's going to fall way short of it. And
damn, I thought it broke records.
It did for the initial
first night.
Yeah, first weekend. I think it came out. Let's see, Christmas was on what, Monday, right? Maybe the first three. I think maybe it was the first 3 days it may have come out, but it suffered a steep decline right after that. And a lot of people are trying to find the reasons why it did that. I have a couple reasons why I think it did that. One reason I'm gonna go with, I think the person on the right had a little bit to do with that.
My right or your right? Or
right on the picture. The picture, let me put it back up here. Taraji, in case you can't see it, Taraji, I think, played a bit of a part in that. Taraji was Shug Avery in the movie. And she didn't know if Taraji had the singing chops. She seemed to have the singing chops in the movie, for what I've seen. What I think affected the movie, and I think it's more than one thing, but I think one of the major things I think affected the sales of the movie is, you can call it a complaint, and it could be a rightful complaint, but I think with her complaining about the lack of pay, the lack of transportation to the set, being treated correctly, the whole set being treated correctly, all the other actors and actresses being treated correctly, like she felt like they should be treated, and crying on set saying, she didn't think like she was getting her just due as an actress, and she may not be, But I think right before the movie comes out to do that, I think there was a lot of people was like, hey, well, shoot, we're riding with Taraji with this one. And why would I support a movie that's been made by Oprah? And some people got their complaints about Oprah, and I do too. Why would I support a movie made by her and she's not paying Oprah? A lot of people assume Oprah wasn't paying her. Now I'm hearing two different things, that it wasn't Oprah that wasn't paying her, but who knows? I haven't heard Taraji outright say this. Maybe she has, but I haven't heard her say anything. But to complain about it right before the movie comes out probably left a bad taste in people's mouth. And they're like, well, I'm not going to support a movie that's not paying my girl Taraji. And she's been doing all this hard work and acting for the past 20 years. So why would I go out and see this movie? I think that's one of the biggest reasons why there was a steep decline afterwards. I think the musical folks and Black women went out to see the movie on its initial debut. But I think after that, the people who saw the interview did not want to go support the movie. I think that's one of the biggest reasons. The other reason, I think, from what I've heard, people was like, they didn't know it was a musical. I don't know why. Again, like I saw it, but that's one of the biggest reasons I have people complaints I heard people say. Now, from what I watched, and I'll be honest, I didn't finish the movie. I loved the original Color Purple. I will say that. As I grew up, as a child, as I got older, in my 20s, probably about the mid-20s, I looked at it through a different lens. Still great acting. I still think Whoopi did a great job. The woman played Danny Glover. I think he did a good job. Woman played Suge Avery. Everybody did a good job in that, the original Color Purple. And I'm not saying they didn't do a good job in this one either. What I can't get with the movie anymore is it seems like another trauma movie. Trauma movie for Black people again. And a lot of traumatic things, it seems like is women fighting against the Black patriarchy, which I don't even know if that word is even correctly used as a Black patriarchy, especially in the Reconstruction era when this film was shot.
Red, I'm so glad that you said that, because in the opposite, I went to go see. Have you seen the Book of Clarence?
No. Is that relatively new? Is that old?
Yes, it just came out January 12th.
No, I haven't seen it. No.
They did the movie that Jay-Z produced about the Black prophet or something, or the Black something in relation almost
Black
to Jesus.
dude,
Something.
biblical Jerusalem. He wants to be the new prophet. Jesus exists at the same time. He's like, oh, I want to do that. Steals Jesus' whole flow. Word for word, bar. Well, not word for word, bar for bar. Starts his own little sermon and shit. But produced by Jay-Z. Jay-Z does the album for it. It's produced by or directed by what's the name? James Samuels, the director of he did a Western, a Black Western for Netflix that had Jonathan Majors in it. Remember the Hateful Eight?
I know you're talking about. Yeah,
I
Netflix.
But it was a Black Western.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But same thing along the lines with that film. And I was actually excited to see the Book of Clarence because I'm all about biblical history. I'm all about epic swashbuckling swords and sandals films. I'm all about that kind of historical shit. But yeah, I got the same thing without spoiling it. Just Black trauma, because like very absent, like, yeah, you're right. The idea of Black patriarchy is laughable because it's not something we see played out on screen. The only Black patriarchy we ever saw played out on screen was murdered right in front of our very eyes in Wakanda Forever. So many times. Like, actually, they murdered the patriarchy in Captain America Civil War by murdering T'Chaka. Then Killmonger threw T'Challa off a roof. Then T'Challa got dusted for 5 years. And then he come back from getting dusted to fight in the battle just to die at the beginning of his second movie. Just for also Queen Mother, played by Angela Bassett, to also die in Wakanda Forever. So yeah, Black patriarchy is not something that we see on film played out, because a Black patriarchy would be depicting us as kings and queens. We saw that with The Woman King. We saw, a Black patriarchy there. Shout out to John Boyega. He definitely played the shit out of the homie king. But yeah, they don't like to show us like that. And if they do, I just saw a video on this. The theory is if they do show us in positions of hierarchy, patriarchy, we either have to be vile human beings or we die at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Let me speak on this one more time. It's not that I don't want to see movies that don't show the bad side, because we have bad people in our race too. But it seems like when the majority of men in these type of movies are just horrible people, horrible human beings, and there seems to be no come up. It seems like, okay, a Tyler Perry movie. I'm not even a big Tyler Perry fan, but a lot of times they got the evil feeling black guy in there, and the woman is looking for a come up at some point, and she finds a good black guy towards the end. I'm cool with that.
A good light in there.
That's what makes a good movie, is a good story, is to have a villain in there. I'm cool with that. There doesn't seem to be any kind of come up in Color Purple. Again, I loved The Color Purple growing up, but I looked at it through new eyes when I grew up. It just seems like all the men are just horrible up here. And if we did percentages, I guess it would be between 90 and 100% in this movie. And there's no background in this new one. At least the background, there's a little bit of a background for some of the men in the original, but this one, Mr. just slaps the mess out of Celie.
Nigga, did I just get you
no reason? And then she just goes to start dancing and singing the next round. I'm like, well, can I get some context why he just slapped her? I'm like, at least know why he's so mean the way he is. One movie like this is fine, but
they tried to show. They tried to show context about who he was. I think by showing how ignorant his dad was in the movie too.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when they were all at the table eating, and like the dad, or they were, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you see how it was. They were trying to show generational, huh?
I thought he was dead too. I didn't even know he was still alive.
Without even seeing the film, that kind of just shows a repeated generation of vile black man. Like, he's bad because his black man dad was bad. Like,
but that's the only reference that that's the only reference that they really made in the movie. You know, they didn't show any background of Mr. other than when he went and basically bought her from the guy that wasn't even her daddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Think about it. When he went and got her and made all this, made the deals to get her, that guy wasn't even her father. It came out later on in the movie type thing. So, right.
Yeah. Which is horrible. Yeah. But when I see Spark, when I see things like this, I don't think about just our audience watching it. I think about, and for Color Girls, when I think why people go watch it, and I say, well, damn, I can see why they don't want to be with them. Look how they treat them. Is that, and they get their image of us from movies, not from experience hanging out with us, mostly from movies and music. Mm-hmm. That's where they get this. That's how stereotype
oh my God, started. That's why Little Baby acts like that. His dad was probably a Mr. ass nigga. Oh my God. I understand him now.
When watching For Color Girls, it's so uncomfortable watching that movie. And those things do happen. Yeah, those things do happen. I don't want to say that they don't happen, but when it's like the majority of the film is just a trauma film, Precious. There was no happy ending. I don't care what anybody say about Precious.
You used to go to the movie.
There was no happy ending to that story. She may have left her mother, but she was eventually going to die of AIDS in that movie. So there was no happy ending to that movie at all. And
notice that's the film that Monique got the Oscar for.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
She plays a vile human being.
Yeah. Now, that was a good music.
But
I thought they had some good songs on this new Color Purple, but I can't get with the storyline anymore of seeing that again. I think there was some good acting in the movie. It's just the story. I can't get with the storyline of seeing that again. I can't. Like I said, I love the original. I thought the original was one of the best movies ever, but it's the storyline. Seeing that kind of storyline, I'm just tired of seeing movies like that. I think that kind of played a part too, of why people didn't go out and see this in droves. And I'm not even sure why this movie was cost that much to make.
It probably didn't cost much to make. Well, set design, reconstructing those kind of time period costumes, that does cost money. But the amount of money that they spent in promotion is what they always try to make back.
Musicals usually don't sell that well, though. No matter who makes them, they don't usually do that well. There's some
didn't know
here
it
and there.
was going to be a musical going into it. I didn't see any of the interviews or promotion for it directly. I mean, it looks like a musical. People were jumping up and down and singing in the fucking trailers. So it's a musical. I feel like you should know they're about to be. They casted Fantasia in the film. Was Jennifer Hudson in it too?
No.
Okay. Because if you cast Jennifer Hudson in some shit,
Sierra was.
It's because and you only cast Sierra if she about to dance or sing.
Her was in there too.
Her was in it too. Yeah.
Who?
Her. The singer, her.
And she's really nice. I actually really like her.
She's really nice.
Yeah. I said Taraji sang too. I mean, everybody sang.
She did. She sounded good too. If that was her singing, though.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't know it was a musical before I went.
See?
Shit.
I
ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I keep it a band. But I went because it was The Color Purple. Shit. I went on the day it came out because it was that was the one thing I wanted to go and do. Was to support. Go see how it was gonna be the same as the other one to support. I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. I did not realize it was going to be a musical, so I was shocked about that part. But I should have thought they cast Fantasia, but and I figured they was trying to get closer to. Yeah, I got that part, but I knew they was trying to get closer to Whoopi too. So shit, I was like, well. I didn't think about the singing part of it. I was like,
go back, Sparky. What you
say?
Whoa, Sparky, you missed that. LT, you missed that. Sparky, what did you say? I just caught that. What did you just say about Fantasia?
She looked like a bird.
I just caught that. What did you say?
All I said was that just because she was in the movie, it didn't make me automatically think it's going to be a musical. I was just thinking that they were trying to do a pretty good match with Whoopi.
Yeah.
That's what the hell I said.
Who plays Mr.?
I don't know this guy. I don't
know his name. I don't know his name. He did a pretty damn good job, though.
He's a gay guy in real life. I just found that.
They got an unknown actor that's trying to cut his teeth in the industry to play the most vile black man that ever black man.
He may not be unknown, but it's not like I could be like, that's so and so. I've seen him in other things. I just don't know
relatively.
I just can't throw his name out there like that. He wasn't a Danny Glover, but at that time, Danny Glover wasn't Danny Glover either. Back when he played Mr. You know what I'm saying?
Louis Jr.
It's Coleman Domingo. He was in Fear of the Walking Dead. Okay, I do remember him from that.
I didn't see that.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I kind of remember him from that. He was in Candyman, the last one, I think.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, the last one. I've seen his face, but
that's why I don't know who his ass is because I ain't seen the movies he was in. But he did a good job for the in the movie though.
Yeah, I still couldn't get over him.
I was happy I went to see it. Yeah, he smacked shit out of her.
Yeah,
it was just mean just to be mean.
He slapped her, but
he did it more because, huh?
As a time he slapped her, then when he started doing dancing, he started doing pirouettes. I'm like, Mister, come on, man. He danced at some point in the movie during a dance number. I'm like, really, Mister? But it's a musical. That's what they supposed to do. So
I don't think. Well, to answer your first theory about people not wanting to go see it because of Oprah not paying Taraji P. Henson, if that was the case, people wouldn't have went to go see it in the first place.
But they didn't, though. I mean, there was
a
select few that went to go see it. There was the core people that went to go see it, but you got to get people outside of the core to go see the movie. There are the people that there are Color Purple fans that went to go see it. After that,
you said there was it broke records on opening day, but there was
and after that,
but that was a lot of those tickets were pre-sold. That movie
Mhm.
was sold out like more. They kept opening more and more and more shows because it was sold out weeks in advance. So
Okay.
the story of that didn't drop until people had already bought their tickets. So even if some
Yeah.
people didn't, the people had already that shit was sold out. I was like, well, dang. So
And you know
yeah,
what?
I
That could
was.
be a
That's why.
narrative way of trying to make the movie, the way the media will try to paint the movie as a success. They obviously, unless they want to shit on the movie, but they want this one to do well, obviously. But yeah, I think people didn't return to see the film, yeah, because it's another cash grab at trying to do something I'm familiar with, but changing it in a way that I didn't ask for. Because I wanna say I scrolled by something on Facebook. Is there a gay relationship in it now? Like a full blown gay
Um,
relationship? Spoiler
not
alert.
not really, but they did act on the Celie and Suge relationship a little bit more. They
They
kissed.
implied,
Yeah,
yeah, and
it wasn't a
made it
smooch
seem,
this time. Yeah, it was a
yeah,
smooch in the original one. This one,
yeah.
it was some tongue. She woke up in the bed with her the next day. Um, yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
was surprised they didn't do the "You Sure Is Ugly" part in there. The "Guy Gotta Tell You Something" song. I thought that was gonna
So
be in
we
there.
don't wanna call anyone ugly, because that might hurt somebody's feelings. That's wrong. That's bad.
But that's what
But
adds
motherfuckers
context
is
to the
still
film.
getting slapped in
I,
the face in this
yeah,
motherfucker, right?
I think that's also the other complaint. Where there was music, there should have been context to certain things. Like calling her ugly added to the context of how Miss Seeley felt about herself, and then finally breaking free of all that, and then finally leaving Mister, showing how low she felt, and then finally breaking free and getting her own independence later on. But there was a lot of
But think about
context
it.
to
They
certain
didn't
characters.
say she was ugly, but she still implied. They implied she was ugly
Yeah,
when they were little
They don't never wanna
girls.
show us getting free from
And
slavery of white people. They only wanna show us getting free of our mistreatment from each other.
there
yeah,
wasn't that many white people in this movie at all to get free from.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
And
That's
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 what they
what he's
wanted to make.
saying. I
Hey,
think.
we wanna do an all black film. We wanna employ black actors and put them in the worst time frame to be a black person. And you know what? The things that Taraji P. Henson went through on that set, experiencing being treated ill, I feel bad for her, but I don't, because you're also participating in a film about the whole premise is being mistreated.
What I think is going to hurt though is two things. If the movie didn't do well, and you're saying you want fair pay, you want more pay, for your job as an actress, these other producers are going to look at this and be like, well, we're not going to pay you what you think you're worth, because look at what you did box office wise. Look what you did with the movie Proud Mary that you always were the lead of too, and that didn't do well as well. And then you talk trash about the production of the film before the movie came out. And that's going
See,
to make negative insights about what people are going to think about going to see the movie. They're not going to want to go see it because they're going to think, well, shoot, people weren't paid well. Just like when people complain about factory workers for iPhone, for a minute, people can be like, oh, shoot, boycott iPhone because they mistreat the people, only pay them 10 cents an hour. And then people eventually get over it and buy the whole new iPhone. But with a movie, movies are fleeting. New movie's going to come along and pass this one, and then the new one's going to come along. But
with tickets
they're going to
being
look
on
at
a
this and say, if
pre-sale,
you're
like,
going to
wait,
complain like this, we're not going to give you the money you desire because you're
she
bad
did
for
all of
business.
that before the movie came out.
Yeah.
People still, even if they pre-ordered their tickets, they could have not shown up, because that would have been a sign of showing your allegiance to Taraji P. Henson.
But see, they
People still
also
wanted to
got
see this
Oprah.
film.
They were
So
showing
I
allegiance to
can't even
Oprah.
say that her talking negatively. She didn't talk negatively about the film. She talked negatively about her treatment within the industry and how she isn't being, because she, and it was literally a trap, because all she said was, "I'm thinking about retiring. I would like to retire." And Gail, oh messy, this was all started by Oprah messy ass
That's Oprah's
friend.
mouthpiece.
Oprah messy ass. No, that's why I don't give a fuck, because Gail know why she want to retire, because your friend not paying her. Your friend got her doing the movie that she was in knowing Oprah a whole live billionaire out here in these streets, Oprah name on the Epstein list still. Oprah name been on the Epstein list. We ain't not want to support this movie because of that.
Allegedly it's up there, but
Nah, it's always up there. Oprah name always up there. Oprah name anywhere bad, and that's why Stedman don't want to marry her. See, a lot of people would think a good thing is that she's the most powerful, mega rich billionaire woman on the planet, but she's obviously evil.
Well, you know, I've heard the same complaints about
not
what
marriage
Monique.
material.
I've heard the same complaints about what Monique went through with the movie Precious. That the guy who's the guy that produced Empire, and he also
Lee Daniels, old
he created. He created that movie Precious, and she didn't get paid well for that. And then he wanted her to also do not advertising, but I guess what's the word I'm looking for? She went and talked about the film. She would go do interviews about the film.
Promo.
Promo. There you go. Thank you. Promotion for the film. But he wasn't willing to pay her for that. And, you know, she complained about that. And, you know, she has been said that she got blackballed for that. And Oprah also helped out with her being blackballed for that. And I don't know if Taraji was going through the same thing when she started talking about the film, because I know after she had that interview about retiring and saying she wasn't getting paid, and people all came out in droves said, I know why, because Oprah won't pay you, because Oprah was behind this production. Unlike the first Color Purple, it was Steven Spielberg. Then she made a statement say, oh, no, it's not Oprah. Oprah paid me my money. I don't know if that was because of pressure or because that's true or not, but it seems kind of funny that she said that right after that. And while I'm on Steven Spielberg, that's another problem I had about the original film. That's with Steven Spielberg. There's another thing I had about problem with the original film is that story being told through his eyes, through his him directing Black Trauma. I don't want Black Trauma at all, but him telling that story.
You know, I was looking at, I was watching a video about film and how to write stories, and how to write a good antagonist. And a lot of people were listing Jaws as one of the best antagonists, best way to write an antagonist. The shark in Jaws, obviously Steven Spielberg's quote unquote magnum fucking opus. And I always thought, you know, they're really making Jaws out to be the villain of this shit, but y'all are just a bunch of white people swimming around in his goddamn ocean, mad because he eating y'all. But he's the villain. He's the bad guy. And I've noticed Steven Spielberg has had a very good way of taking culturally appropriating things and layering it with a metaphor of something. He's done that with the Indiana Jones films. Shout out to the Nazis, had them all up in there. Goddamn. And yeah, the fact that he's behind The Color Purple, just like why do you want to why do you feel like this is your responsibility to bring to life this African American story?
Yeah.
Mr. Steven Spielberg, whose name is probably also on the fucking Epstein list, because I don't even know at this point, but it probably is. Him and George Lucas are probably sitting in a tool shed molesting a stormtrooper. I watch a lot of South Park.
I see that. Yeah, and that's probably another thing too. Remakes. I'm tired of seeing these movies remade. It's got to be enough people with ideas.
Our writers keep striking. Our actors keep striking. So that's why we're going to hire celebrities. We're just going to hire influencers. We're going to make movies literally starring people that you've seen as you scroll on your phone. We're going to put Drewski in movies. We're going to do that because we don't have to pay him much. That nigga get like $500 a month from Instagram. So if we pay him $5,000 to show up for this Vlad interview, he gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? He gonna show up. Everybody gonna show up. For you add like three zeros to something, people gonna be like, what else? Let me tell me more. You know what I'm saying? And writers are striking, actors are striking as we're moving closer and closer to pretty much running the originality well dry. The Hollywood method has just been to remake. Like we're getting another Ghostbusters film for some fucking reason because somebody asked for that. We're getting what the fuck else is being remade? They keep making Transformers movies. I'm not asking for no more. Michael Bay, stop making Transformer movies, please. I don't give a fuck about ethnically appropriated cultures voicing giant fighting robots and explosions and the America flag and more product placement. That's literally just every Michael Bay film. Honestly, I don't want another Bad Boys film.
I'm good.
Like
on
everything
that.
is, they just. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of another remake. They just remade Mean Girls.
That's right. I did hear they remade that one. Yep. I never saw it.
That's a film about being bullied. Why are we remaking that film? Like,
because
we're still saying that the most popular girl in school is the bully bitch. Is like the, oh my god, there goes the popular girl. Don't look her in the eye. Like,
I think it's another way to save money. That's probably why they do that too. They don't have to pay someone another licensing fee or whatever, or buy their script. They can just take the same script they got from 30 years ago and just remake
because
the movie.
The actors that participate in these films, even the directors that direct them, even the writers that write them, do not own the rights to these films. Those are owned by the studios, by Disney, by Warner Brothers, by Universal, by goddamn MGM, by who else? A major Pixar out there, DreamWorks. I could so many. Murph Go. That's MGM. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. And then the big TV companies, ABC, CBS, or Viacom, CBS, NBC. They own property, and they'll just guess what TV will do. They'll remake TV shows. As soon as those go off, hey guys, guess what? We're remaking How I Met Your Mother, starring fucking Zac Efron and damn Timothy Chalamet. And the mom is going to be played by the voice of damn Zendaya, because she's going to be hot for probably another 11 or 12 years. She's like Hansel too. She's so hot right now. The Zendaya is so hot right now.
Yeah. Well, they're going to have to make their back end money on streams once it comes out. And I don't think it's going to be far. It's probably going to be available for stream in probably February.
And streaming sites have shown us that people will pay for them if you have IP that I am familiar with. Disney Plus did.
I think you can stream it for $20. You talking about Color Purple? Color Purple?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it's streaming for $20. I saw somewhere. Mm-hmm.
People will pay for that luxury.
I think it's on Prime.
At the house.
I think it's on Prime. That is streaming. Yeah, Amazon. So it's already streaming. That was just a month.
Ain't even a month, because well, yeah, you're right. It's exactly
Christmas
a month.
Day.
Exactly
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
just a month, right? Just a month. Like, good gracious. Yeah, that's something like that.
Hold y'all for real. Was the real shit. Hold y'all. Just so they could get those first day numbers, just so they could get those first week. But because here's the thing, as we're moving closer or moving more and more into streaming, the movie industry or the movie theater industry is dying. But they don't want to go out of business. But they don't have a streaming service. AMC doesn't have a streaming service.
Didn't they used to have an on demand or something though? AMC used to have something.
They used to have an on demand, but nobody fucked.
They used to have something. Yeah, they had something where you could watch the movies,
but nobody fucked with.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I have an AMC members account because I do enjoy the event of going. Yeah, AMC Stubs account. I do enjoy the sometimes occasion of going to the movie theater and getting that surround sound occasion. Right. But with the advent of stream, everyone does every once in a while. But now that we're in a more comforting and convenient time, and a time where we're literally being told to stay indoors, it's more convenient to stream something.
It's more convenient because of inflation. It costs way too much to go
to the movies.
Real shit, Red. You should know this.
Been expensive.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say it's been expensive to go to the movies for a long time, but I think even now it's just with the inflation of everything is even worse. That's all I was gonna say. Sorry.
I took my daughter and her friend to the movies. It cost me $98.
Well,
You know,
some movie theaters
I
are
mean,
nice.
of course, with
Damn.
popcorn and all that, but $98.
They serve wine and shit too. Yeah, I know, right?
Well, we couldn't drink wine, unfortunately. I mean, I could.
Oh, you ain't go to the boy. You need to go to the one on Yadkin Road. They be serving wine. They got
That's all I
beer.
went to. But yeah, I want to be. I'm a designated driver.
Man.
I was a designated driver. I couldn't do that. I couldn't relax like that. I guess I could have, but I decided not to.
Yeah, you was gonna be in a movie. You would have been. It would have been good. You would have entertained that shit way the fuck off.
Good decision, Red. Good decision.
They're gonna water it down. I'm telling you. They're gonna charge you $8.
Good decision.
They're gonna charge you $8 for a 4-ounce glass of wine,
especially with somebody else's kid.
Right. But yeah, it just costs way too much. And then it was crazy. I saw an article yesterday about Netflix. And Netflix has recently purchased the show Monday Night Raw, WWE, on there now. Netflix is becoming cable. You're getting all these movies, all these TV shows, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be live TV pretty soon. And Hulu's about the same thing. Hulu got live sports and live other things and movies and TV shows. It's turning into cable because most people probably got more than 3 apps. They probably got Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max, Paramount, all these different things. And it's starting to add up to where you're about to pay the amount you were probably paying for cable a few years ago. And a lot of things up there you don't watch up there just like you didn't watch on cable. It's turning itself around. But for now, I mean, paying $10 or $15 is still worth it instead of going to the movies and paying $20, $40, $60 and have to sit around a bunch of people that may cough on you and give you the next variant for COVID. So that's a big reason why the movie industry is dying. And the only reason I even go to a movie anymore is usually to see an action movie with great graphics. It's not worth it to go see
pretty shit,
a musical or a drama or anything like that. You want to go see something that you can't see at home on a big screen. And it's just about the same watching a musical or a drama or anything on your screen than it is on the big screen. There's no special graphics that's going to change in a regular movie based in the 1800s that I can't watch at home.
Now, actually, that shit might hit different because for me, again, I'm a person, I love, time period films that are set in a different time. So I will go to the movie theater to experience 60 feet on a silver screen being in ancient Greece or being in ancient Egypt or being in ancient some fucking where, because that's not going to hit the same way on my 40 on my 42 inch. You know what I'm saying?
Like 300, I could see that.
Yeah, it's like that. But sometimes not even an action epic in that sense, but yeah, just something that actually just a film that I want to be enveloped in. And there's no greater way to envelop someone in a film than for it to be the largest thing and consume all of your attention. It's almost like standing in front of the sun. But what I will say is the other reason that streaming is always going to win in these things, like people, yes, you'll still have cable, but that's only because you can't stream without internet, and internet providers are still kind of tied up with cable providers. They kind of make it a hey, you can get some cable with your and people just be like, no, I don't want no cable. I don't want no cable. I don't want no phone. Just give me the internet. But we'll give you the cable. No, I just want internet, please. All right, but so you'll always have the advent of that in there, and they'll find their way to sneak back in, and that's live TV on your Hulu streaming, because you're still going to need cable in the sense of you want to watch sports, you want to watch the big game, and you're still going to have to go to ABC or NBC or TNT or TBS or ESPN for that. And that's not something that Disney owns. Well, they do own it now. Damn. So you see what these motherfuckers had to do. They had to go out and buy movie IPs, Star Wars, Marvel, all these other shit, produce movies, make billions, so that they could buy TV companies, so that they could buy movie companies and movie theaters, so that they could pretty much monopoly the market on media. So people will always have the conveniency of being able to go to Hulu or go to get Disney Plus. And if you just pay us like $30 for Disney Plus, we'll also loop in Hulu for you. And if you pay us like 35, we'll loop in Hulu and we'll loop in some sports because you like ESPN, right? And if you pay us like $45, we'll loop in ESPN and some sports and some cooking channels. You like cooking, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it also, if you pay us a little bit more, we'll take away the commercials because you still got commercials with all these shits. Because you got to pay for this somehow. That's also how they make their money. Advertisement. Placing products in front of you that you go and buy. That they're, listening to from your Google searches, from your Alexas, from your iPhones. That it's all cyclical in order to keep us good consumers. And the conveniency of the streaming service is, it's going to require your email address, which is usually Gmail. It's going to require you log in and give it access. Hey, what do you like? What do you want to see? What are your interests? And it's tailoring the things that are going to be shown to you in a media sense. And that's why when you're scrolling down your Google and you see a sponsored ad for this and a sponsored ad for this, it's because of what you're watching. It's because they are watching what you are watching. That's what analytics are. And streaming is a better way to get that than movie theaters because people can show up to movie theaters and like people can buy tickets and not show up to the film. So that doesn't tell you if the film was good or not, or if it's actually doing anything.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next story. Last week we talked about what men would prefer over sex or even love for that matter. This video is a woman telling what women would prefer over love. So let me find the video right quick. Sparky T can tell me if this is a true statement once we play the video. And here we go.
Okay.
Don't accept the reality that men take respect over love any day. Any day, every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Respect me before you love me. And then women position themselves where it's like, well, I'll take safety over love.
Damn. Safety, huh?
So as long as I feel safe with you, I don't have to be in love with you. Because I'll marry the man that I respect before I marry the man that I'm in love with.
You know what? Whew. When you say that out loud,
she ain't lying.
That makes some sense.
One more video got up here.
That makes sense. Because even the safety, immediately when you said safety, I'm like, no. In my head, I'm like, no. They want to marry somebody that's financially keeping them safe.
And it's so many different
protect.
It's so many different layers to safety.
But mine,
emotional,
keeping them safe.
But I don't have to be in love with my husband because I'm not going to always.
You're not going to always.
No. Yeah. But if I'm safe, where the I'm going? Oh, I'm right here.
All right. So
Sparky, is she Reverend at?
Sparky, did it say she was a reverend?
No, she just the veins in her neck just made her look.
Okay. All right. Sparky, do you agree with this lady's statement?
Shut up! Get him. I'm recording, so I gotta go back outside. Can you put them up for me? All right.
Somebody's not getting protected right now.
At the moment.
Okay. We'll come back. She tried to fix something right here. I wonder how true this is though. For most women, she almost sounds like she would she's willing to marry someone or be in love with someone or not be in love with someone. She's willing to marry somebody who can protect her versus even if he didn't love her, she's willing to be with that person just as long as she feels protected.
Yeah, that's I always feel like, well, excuse me. I'll go ahead and jump in while she's busy at the moment. But yeah, I feel like women are conditioned to want to marry for safety over, or it should be At the very least, I feel like their fathers definitely conditioned them to marry for safety, security, and survival over love. Because you can love a little nappy-headed Negro that, never a little knucklehead. You know what I'm saying? Romeo and Juliet loved each other, and they died virgins. Stupidly, might I add. Very stupidly. But, yeah, like, women are taught to go for safety because when it comes to, especially going back to the ancient times in our world, it was you definitely need a masculine presence around to protect you from more nefarious, that other 50% of bad men. You need a masculine presence around to protect you from more nefarious masculine presences that might not that might not be so kind and respectful to your safety as a woman.
But I would be willing to say that I think most women think that guys, or majority of the guys, can't put them in a place of protection. And that's kind of probably the reason why our marriage rate is so low, because they don't think they can they'd rather protect themselves than take a chance and try to be protected from a guy because they don't think he could provide that. And protection may look, but the thing that they think is protection may be off, but I don't think most women think men offer protection for them. I'm talking about black women. I don't think most black women think that black men can protect them.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's something that you're only gonna have to talk to our, because it's only our race that feels like our men can't protect them. White men literally spend all day talking about how they have the first, as we're talking about the film industry a moment ago, the first film that did well for Hollywood was The Birth of a Nation. And not the one
The
about
old school
Mr.
one.
The old one about a
definitely not
crazed black man sexually assaulting a white woman, or
with
about
the
to
white guy that
sexually,
played the black guy.
the Ku, it was literally the birth of the Ku Klux Klan, but they call it the
Yeah.
birth of the nation. And it's about them coming together to protect a white woman from a black man. Like, so their whole mind frame, like the president at the time, whoever the fuck the president was, he played this at the White House. Their whole mind frame was, we got to protect our women from these naggers. Birth of a Nation, #1 film in the country. Go see it this summer. Be there, be there, be there, be there, be there. Sunday.
Woodrow Wilson, that was the president.
Woodrow fucking Wilson. Fuck him and everybody to the level. Everybody that's connected. If you were a slave that his family owned, I hope that you have been paid dividends. I hope that you will be.
I think he was. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure his father might have been a slave. He was probably
he was a Democrat, so he was part of the Democratic Party.
Northern slaves. I don't
little
know.
tidbit out there.
Democrats are racist too. They're just nice.
Sparky, are you there yet? Are you on? You on hold? No, she was getting rid of a dog earlier. It sounded like.
Someone protect her from that K9, but also protect the K9. Don't want problems with PETA. Fuck everyone else. I don't want
in the
PETA
background, so I was trying to get them under control. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good. You're good.
And you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So hit me with the question one more time. I'm sorry. I've been listening to y'all, but hit me with the question one more time.
Basically, do you agree with what that lady said? Where she said she would be willing to go without love as long as the man can provide protection. She would marry a man without love if protection was involved.
Before, if she wasn't in love with him. Okay. She said I remember she did say, she said she wasn't in love with him, but stability or protection, she felt stable or safe or secure, that she could marry him quicker. And I think that sometimes women do that, especially if women have been married more than once. Sometimes I think for that first time, they marry for love. They be all in love and marry and this and this and that. And then when that don't work out, and if they marry again, it's usually not for love like that. It's usually either for stability or for security or something different. And I think that a lot of times you hear people play with the words of, oh, well, being in love with him, or I can learn to love him, or I can fall in love with him as long as I'm safe. If I'm safe, feel safe, I ain't going nowhere. I could learn to love him. That's, to me, people, kind of like going with the
Anna Nicole Smith. I'm pretty sure she didn't.
going
She
with the
says in
security.
interviews. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying going with the security over going with the love.
Yeah, because a lot of people can love, but love, like I said, love can look like different things to a lot of people. I am still under the belief that Ike Turner loved Tina. Now, did he know how to properly love her? That could be it. Maybe that's how he was raised. Maybe his parents did the same thing. And he said, his mother probably said, well, his dad probably told the wife or his mother that I loved you. I loved your mother, but I just didn't know how to show a proper love. And he repeated the same thing he saw. Maybe he saw other family members do that. Some people love, I believe DMX loved his kids, but he maybe didn't know how to properly love them. But protection usually looks, like I said, universally, protection usually looks the same universally. Whether it's financially protection,
Will Smith protected his wife and she don't love him.
Whether it's physical protection.
Yo, I'm about to, 2024.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm about
Will
to
Smith
really,
and Jada, they probably love each other in their own way, but they probably don't properly know how to
bring back Bel-Air.
You know, you when someone is in a fight, there's only one way you can win most of the time. Well, there's a different way you can win, but a knockout is universally recognized as protection in a boxing match.
Like
there's more than one way you can
Ali,
protect yourself, but you know what a knockout does to the opponent. Protection usually looks the same universally when it comes to relationship. People love, but people also have toxic love. It's not really a such thing as toxic protection. Unless I know people probably gonna bring up, well, what about the people that the husbands don't want their wives going out late at night, or when somebody talks to them, they get mad when another guy talks to them. That hold on. When they have a guy talk to them, the husband gets mad and then go punches the guy out. That's not protection per se. That's jealousy. That's not the same thing. That's trying to put fear into somebody. Now that could be love, but I don't think that's protection. I do think I can agree with what I think that lady is saying. Protection probably first, love second. Just like we were saying last week, I think respect first is what guys would like, and then love second. I would like to have both. I'm sure most people like to have both, but I say, Sparky, I don't know if you had said that or not. On that response, could you marry somebody based off of protection, just just love somebody, not be in love with them, just having protection, and I guess just loving them? Because I guess you can't separate those things, just loving somebody versus being in love. Could you just love somebody and have protection versus being in love with somebody and not being, quote unquote?
Well, I would have to feel protected though. If I didn't feel protected, I wouldn't love them. Shit. I mean, I wouldn't. If I didn't feel protected, I didn't even say that, but I was about to say, if I didn't feel protected, I wouldn't marry them. Like if I didn't feel protected, I wouldn't marry them. What the hell I need you around for? If I could do a better job at protecting me than you can,
right.
then there's no real need for I would have no need for you. If I make more money, I whatever. But if you can't protect me, and protection isn't always physical. It's not always, So it comes in different forms. But if you still can't, whatever that role is, if you can't walk in that, then, I'm looking at you sideways, because what you doing for me if you can't even protect me from the outside world? I get beat up by them all day long.
Yeah.
I'm saying I need my significant other to provide some guard, some cover. I'm saying from that. So if you can't do that, we don't got too much to talk about.
Right. And probably what's going to end up happening, let's say you are in love with that person, and then as the rigors of a relationship happen and you see he can't protect you the way you want to be protected, you'll probably start slowly falling out of love with him, versus the other way around. You may not be in love with him. He shows he can protect you. And after years of a relationship goes, you can fall in love with him based on how he protects you.
But see, what you're skipping right there is, if a man isn't able to protect a woman will say, I don't respect him as a man. And that's when the love drops. You lose love, or you lose respect for a person first before the love happens. And just like that, if she doesn't love him first, but he does something to protect her, he has gained her respect. But yeah, he has gained her respect in a sense. So that's why a man feels, or that's why I, as a man, always feel like respect is the prime principle that should always happen, because that's how we operate. Love is something that one could give to a you know what I'm saying? Like what do I love that I feel like love should carry an amount of respect as well, but respect should precede that love. Because love can be, a mother's love is unconditional, but we don't always treat our mothers with the utmost respect. We don't always treat our fathers with the utmost respect. We don't always treat our siblings or other family members with the utmost respect, but we love them, do we not?
Right. Still love them. Still, their respect can come back around though.
And it's like you can do something to your mom knowing, and she'll know, I know that you love me, but it's the fact that you did something so disrespectful that hurt me.
Yeah. Right. Unconditional love though is a little bit different though.
I mean, what's love if it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Love is supposed to be seasonal.
But most people don't love people unconditionally though. I mean, outside of parents and children, men and women usually don't. I don't think.
Exactly. That's why respect always has to be principle. Respect always has to be on top of everything. Because even if you don't love someone, literally, the very least you could do is respect.
Yeah. Your kids don't never have to earn your love. They just get it off birth.
Off right. And they ain't did shit to earn your respect. They ain't put in no work.
Right. But that's what it's supposed to be. But
and if they are, they're like the worst teammate ever. They're so slow, they can't catch the ball. Like it's
but it's because of his unconditional love. That's why they can feel sometimes they can get away with disrespect. That also works with relationships too, because some women are with guys and they let them get treated like trash. And so he's like, well, you're not going to leave. So that's why I can disrespect you the way I can. So it can work like that with adults too.
Yeah. And also
it depends on what your boundaries are.
Your kids kind of disrespect you on multiple, like, think about it. You laying in your bed, sleep as hell. Damn. I got like a good 30, 35 minutes before I got boom, foot in your face. Little baby foot in your mouth. Little just
Oh, that's a small way they disrespect you. Wait till they get to the teenage years. That's when they really get disrespected.
Oh yeah, once they learn, once they speak and feel and can emote, that's when you would literally have to tell yourself, this person, I love this person, though I am dealing with disrespect. How do I move forward? And you can't just cut off that relationship.
Yeah. I think you got to have respect for a woman to, in order for you to give her protection. You would have to have respect for her. Again, I think you can love her and not give her protection. And like I said, there's a such thing as toxic love. You just don't know how to love properly. But protection, I think, only usually comes. And this is why I think guys are usually more selective with their protection with women. Like we only give it to certain women versus I think women are willing to protect everybody. Strangers or anybody like that. And like they got a heart for them. They put the emotions on their sleeve. They want to protect the guy that may be getting beat down the street, or the woman that's having a hard time. She doesn't have any money, and they're willing to throw their protection or money out there to help them or give them something to eat. And guys be like, nah, I don't give them no money. Like they just up there. They're beggars. They don't give them no money. They don't need my protection. Only people I'm protecting is my household and my family. I think guys typically will give that to who they think they get respect from instead of just strangers. And women are more likely to give respect to, I don't want to say everybody, but they'll do it more willingly than guys will. Guys are more selective when it comes to that.
Repeat that. You said guys are more selective when it comes to the...
Guys, I think, are more selective when they give respect to, when it comes to women, that is. They'll protect their household before they're going to just give it to any woman in the street. I think women are
I think that comes from
wear
two
their
places.
emotions on their sleeve and will help more people than guys will. They'll help
I
that
think
guys will
that
help out their community versus women will help anybody. You know, and I don't see that's not a bad thing, but sometimes you have to be selective with who you give your help to.
I think for men that comes from, or with our protection, that comes from two places where for that woman's instance, she is probably primarily looking for male protection because that is something that she was lacking throughout her life. Whether it be financial, whether it be she was in situations where she was hurt by men and wished that she had a man around to act on her behalf in a physical way or just a vocal or verbal way. So I do get that aspect. And with some men, and you see it in cases with their homeboys sometimes, they're like when one of your friends gets famous or has some clout, and you always got that one friend, they can't really do anything other than fight. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I heard somebody was talking shit about you. So, you know what I'm saying? I punched their ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with the crew like that. You know what I'm saying? That's their whole they've literally been programmed and conditioned to display their masculinity through feats of aggression like that. That's honestly something that we kind of as little boys we grow up doing. Like we play fight. That's something we just do, and we don't play fight in the sense of slapping each other. We ball up our fists and we roll around and we get the tussling. You know what I'm saying? We get the rabble rousing and throwing. You know what I'm saying? Really throwing them things. We get toys like sock 'em boppers that are literally just inflatable punching bags for us to knock each other the fuck out with. And that's honestly going back to the animal kingdom. That's just the way in which a man proves in which he is the quote unquote alpha male. If I'm the biggest and or strongest, therefore I'm going to have the most ability to mate with the most amount of women, the most attractive women, the alpha female in a sense. So that's a way in which we prove ourselves amongst each other as men. And if we don't have any skills outside of just being, you know, physically aggressive, that's how we prove our worth to this woman that we might be able to pick up on as lacking some, you know, just needing just in literally we can pick up on when a woman is enthralled by our aggression because a lot of women do just say I like aggressive ass men. Like, oh girl, on the last week's episode, don't good morning queen me. I much prefer good morning bitch. Like, that requires an aggressive level of man. That requires a man that just is referred to speaking to people. Hey, what up, bitch? And usually, that's if you ever watch the RDC compilation or Three Signs of. Those are usually fighting words. Like especially if you're man to man. If I approach you on some, hey, what up, bitch? Throw them things up. We're about to run. We're about to run the ones.
All right, let's move on to the final story for today. Guy trying to save some money, living in a storage unit. I don't know if you've seen this story or not.
You said he got lemons in his storage unit?
Nah, he's trying to save some money by living in a storage unit, and he's trying to show us how he can do that.
Yeah, I know that's what you said, but I wanted to make it not like he lived. I mean, and you know, I've seen that on like cartoon shows and like literally only on cartoon shows.
Yeah, this actually happened in real life. Check this out.
Terrible ventilation.
Sandwiches. A lot of times we make salad.
That might be the. Let's see if I can find the other one.
Who you got in here with you, dog?
I think that's the second video.
He said we. Who you got in here with you, dog?
All right.
I live in a storage unit because it's cheap in comparison to an apartment. Living here is actually really comfortable. I get a lot of things that I need and want to get done here. I can exercise.
You could do that in any apartment complex.
I can use the bathroom.
You could use the bathroom in your.
I can play music anywhere in the unit. It's climate controlled in here, so it's nice and warm. This unit is 24 hours, so I can come here anytime I want, stay here as long as I need to. We can take naps if we need to and go to sleep. So this is our living space. Very, very grateful to have this space. The next goal is to get an RV. The next goal after that, tiny home. And if we want to eat, I just cook right out front. Or we'll just prepare. If we want to get power, we use our power bank. They also have power here so we can charge our power bank. Me and my baby will live here as long as we need to until we get the shelter that we want. Because we're living here, now we can save up more money to get what we really want. We're in it for the long haul. Thank you for the support. Thanks for watching.
He got a Cash App, don't he? He got a GoFundMe.
Pretty sure he probably does, but he gonna need it because they just kicked him out. Because he advertised this for everyone to see, and I'm sure the owners of the storage unit saw it and said, you got to get out. And it's probably in the contract that you can't live in a storage unit. So
I think it is. I think that they tell you, it's like, that's why I feel like I've only seen that shit in cartoons, because you're not supposed to do that for real.
Yeah,
especially with a child.
the contract.
Yeah. If if that was the case, everybody would be doing it to save some money. I don't even know how much he's probably paying a month for the storage unit. I don't know what
I do
cities.
feel bad because if he is a homeless father with a child, you don't get much of it. They do not offer those men the same kind of assistance that a single mother would get. They honestly would rather push those men into giving up their child to the system so that he can go live in a terrible men's homeless shelter. Because if you ever notice that, there's always a separate men's homeless shelter and women and children.
Yeah.
Like if you're a single father that is homeless with your child, you have to give up your child to go to a women and children shelter because they can't. I mean, and obviously I get why, because men, some of them are weird and bad and evil people. So you don't want your kid around there and shit. But it's like we also just don't. It's kind of crazy that we just don't think that about a women's shelter either. Like that there might be some bad people in there. Like the staff could be bad. The staff might not be all women. I'm sorry. Like the fact that I have to put men in here just so I'm not saying that there might be some bad women over there might be some bad children. Might be a fucking Damien child. There might be an Omen child over there at the women and children shelter. You know what I'm saying? Like there might be a demon.
He ain't by himself though. He had a woman in there with him in that storage unit. She was laying peacefully on that couch.
Was that a woman or a child?
That was a woman. That was a full-grown woman.
Ew.
It was a white woman.
I thought that was a child.
Oh.
Was there two people?
Oh, I'll go back, but I'm pretty sure that was a full-grown woman.
I thought I only saw one person.
I live in the storage unit because it's cheap in comparison to an
He
apartment.
said babe. Okay, he said girl. You know what? I didn't even read the damn video. He said
The
girlfriend.
next goal was to get an RV. The next goal after that, tiny home. And if we want to eat, I just cook right out front.
Wait, did I go past it?
Okay, never mind. Scratch everything that I said. You know, like, the title says girlfriend. He said baby. I thought he meant child.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is a white woman though, and that's why she cool with it. I'm gonna be honest. So scratch everything I said. He's not a homeless man with a child. This nigga really just got a white woman that nobody else wants.
Now you don't care now.
And he getting up like he and I guarantee you, he got a Cash App or a GoFundMe, like I originally said.
Probably does.
Because he don't want to be in that damn. That's why you made this video and showed it to me. And you didn't read the contract. You didn't read the contract. You probably that's why you thought you could do this. That's why you thought it would be cool. Because it's a long ass contract. I get it. It's probably like 6-7 pages. Oh wow. In such small print. Oh wow. Oh my God.
But some things should be common sense though. You should know, like you could have a storage unit in just side of a business, and you just know you don't move your furniture or move your clothes inside of a business and just live there because you know it's owned by someone else. It's you don't move stuff in there. There's some things of common sense. You don't even need a contract. You know, you don't go and put a tent in a Walmart bathroom because you can, you can't. You can't live there just because there's space in a Walmart bathroom. There's just some things that just be common sense, and this is just one of them. But you know, common sense ain't always common though.
Nasty ass place. Like, and also this nigga did. we can exercise in here. Like, you doing shit that you could do in any fucking hallway, and you doing it on a cold ass cement floor.
Yeah.
Ew.
She loves it
If they
though.
really are homeless, they really need somewhere to stay. I'm sure living in the climate controlled storage unit is much more comfortable than being outside and being homeless.
True.
And it's probably got to be a lot cheaper than trying to rent an apartment. I mean, even if you rent a 20 by 20, you might pay $300 some dollars a month for it. You ain't living nowhere for $300 something dollars a month with lights on and whatever.
And that all could be very well true, Sparky. But you know, if you're going to do it, if you're going to do the game is to be the game is to be sold, not to be told. Don't put it on TikTok. Just hide in there and do it as
Because
long
you're advertising the company as an apartment complex, low key now, and like that could spark up business, yeah. But people are going to come here buying units. Or now you're just gonna have homeless people coming here and buying.
People gonna be trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, not that other people weren't already doing it, but they feel the people gonna by you doing it like that. People might feel like, well, they allowed him to do it. They knew he was there and allowed him to do it. But I'm with you, Lord Trey. He gotta have a cash app or something like that, because that would make sense why he would do the TikTok video if he was trying to get the
Because if this was your literal place of the, like, this is literally your livelihood, or the only place you have, you can't do this. I would have to believe and hope that that you aren't supposed to be advertising on TikTok that you can do this, so you wouldn't want to expose that. But the reason to expose it is because I need I need a mass amount of people to hit my Cash App or hit my GoFundMe, because inherently I don't want to be here. I'm here because I have to be, but I want to get out of here. Even if just engagement wise, even because people have set up their TikToks in a point to where, a certain amount of likes, certain amount of shares, they can get a small amount of funds for that too. Like, I want to say like every 5,000 plays, you get like 2 cents or something.
That's the problem with the internet. Everybody want to share everything. Nobody can't get away with anything because they incriminate their own selves.
Because even if people have a negative thing to say about it, the fact that they shared it, analytics says, hey, they shared that shit. Just like Eazy-E and NWA. They could break them motherfuckers, burn them, step on them. They bought them motherfuckers. Shit.
Oh, I guess we all agreed it was universally stupid for him to do this.
He a dumbass. Old dumbass. Big dumbass.
Let's move to the deepest thought. Going in the show with that. See what the deepest thought is this week.
Forwards make trucks. Never happened to me before, but have you ever been
swallowed up? Have you ever been swallowed up?
Roses are red. Forwards make trucks. Never happened to me before, but have you ever been
swallowed up? Have you ever been swallowed up?
I don't want to talk about that with him.
Give it time. Give it time. He'll be back out.
Right. He need to stay. He need to stay in or stay away. One of those.
All right, that was the deepest thought, and that is the wrap for the show tonight. Hostile Therapy with Big Red, getting some hostile therapy, not because you want it, but because you need it. Appreciate you guys for coming out. Lord Trent, Sparky T, we're talking about these issues in the world today. And we will be back next week with another wrap of some stories that are pertinent to today's world. Hope everybody has a good night. Y'all want to give a shout out before we end the show? I know you got something.
Free Palestine, always, forever, until it's the other way around, and Palestine is free. Fuck them Romans, fuck them Romans, fuck them Romans, fuck them Romans. Shout out to these shrooms. else? Um,
All right, that's your shout out. All right. Sparky, you want to say anything before we head out?
Just everybody be good to each other. You know, we were talking about earlier how we will think there are, you know, good people, bad people in the world, or whatever. We just all need to, you know, deal with each other, interact with each other, and just think about how we deal with other people, like that. So, each other. So, what you do to your brother, your sister, the next man, have a way of coming back and affecting you. People that connect with me. A lot of times we don't think about that. Something to think about this week when we get back to next Thursday.
All right.
And be grateful for all the stuff you got. Be grateful for all the stuff you got and all the stuff you want.
Word.
All right, y'all. That's the end of the show. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
One.
Peace.